too. Like, still a small form factor, so it's not like the
Okay.
Steam Deck.
Just letting you know I went live, but
okay,
continue.
Cool. The Joy-Cons are electromagnetically attached rather than the mechanical sliding down.
Yeah, that makes sense because having something mechanical like that would just, over time, I'm sure, like, I'm sure they didn't want to deal with the amount of problems that presented.
Yeah, I think the way that people would hold the Switch, they would like bend it to the point where it would flex, like those rails on the side would bend.
Yeah.
The metal rails. I think there's a USB on top, or a USB-C on top and bottom. There's this new rumor that the top USB-C plug is for either linking other Switch consoles or like a camera. So when it's docked, there's like, you know, like the equivalent of like a Kinect or something that can be hooked in for like AR or whatever reasons. That's kind of interesting. And also, I mean, obviously, like Joy-Cons are relatively the same, but probably changing around the maybe like Hall effect joysticks, because I'm sure they don't want another class action lawsuit. Capable.
I hope there's a change.
Right. Yeah, I definitely want terrible joysticks. And I think lastly, like, yeah, it's using like a custom NVIDIA Tegra chip that can output 4K, some like, basically the equivalent of a PS4 or an Xbox One, but handheld, which is pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know Nintendo by now. I'm sure they will put out a product that meets their standards in terms of like the company, what kind of products they want to represent.
Yeah.
It's going to be something out of left field, something pretty innovative.
Yeah.
And something far out of left field. They always have this motto, like, I'm sure they think in this way where it's like, the fans don't really know what they want. We have to show them what they want.
100%. You can't, they've learned that they can't cater to these idiots that
No.
don't know what they want but demand all these things. So
yeah, people don't really know what they want until you present it to them. Then they get excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody knew that they wanted something like Switch.
Nobody knew. Yeah, nobody knew that they wanted like handheld or like portable gaming, but like portable console level gaming. Like that's just something that then the imitators, you know, that's the kind of, that always proves the point. Like the Wii with its like, albeit, you know, a little bit more rudimentary like graphics and everything else. The fact that like the motion controls now are seen as a little bit gimmicky or a little whatever, that just changed the game. Everyone was like, motion control, casual gaming. It was maybe more so casual gaming than it was.
I don't know why that was such a big revelation for companies. Like, obviously you want to increase the amount of people who are going to be interested in purchasing it. You need to provide software that's going to appeal to everybody.
Yeah. It's so wild that like Sony and Microsoft just doubled down on the same audience, like hardcore gamers, where really cutting out families. Like what and why did they do that? Like, it's just crazy. But yeah, I'm good on Nintendo for recognizing there's a market. Are you gonna hit me, bitch? Don't touch me. Oh man.
I was playing a lot of Mega Man X last night too.
Yeah.
I got my ass kicked, man. This game is so difficult.
Yeah.
Pretty demoralizing. right now.
What stages in particular / all of them?
All of them.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. Obviously, like Boomer Wanger,
Yeah.
Shield Penguin is annoying.
It's always Boomer. Decline.
Not a great Shield Penguin fight, but whatever. I've just been trying to get myself to finish a run at least. Last one that was really good, I ended up dying in Armored Armadillo stage. I don't even know how. It's like not a hard stage. I died in a really stupid way. What happened was there's a part where you have to like just jump over a gap of spikes. It's not like that big, but like you need to dash jump over it.
Yeah.
It was lagging and it ate my input and I just didn't dash jump and it just jumped right into spikes. I like couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really not good at like dash jumping. I feel like
It's wonky. Isn't it a weird button combo? That's what I didn't realize when, like, after playing it. Like, I couldn't, unless you change the button now.
oh my god. Fuck, sorry.
No.
Yeah, I have it set to L. I don't like dash being like a face button because my thumb can't
No.
really press two face buttons
Same.
at the same time reliably.
Exactly. That's
So,
exactly.
I made it the trigger button, shoulder button rather.
Right.
But I still find that I think I hit jump before I hit dash and it fucks me up so bad, man.
Right.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
Climbing the tower now in Boomer Poinger's stage. And I have half health already, so I'm like not in a good position to fight the boss.
Right.
Uh,
I know what you mean too. Like, I almost want to be able to press jump and then dash and have the same effect happen, where you just do that, like the jumping dash.
yeah.
But it does have to be one before the other. Dash first.
I'm dead. Reset. Damn, that sucks, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening. I'm just hitting jump before dash, and that just makes you jump normally.
Yeah.
It's mainly that, like, movement is very hard to get the hang of here.
Yeah.
And the intro stage requires so much mashing, it, like, really hurt my wrist.
Yeah, it does. The bees.
These fucking... The bees and these, like, large blue enemies...
Mhm.
Why does the intro stage have these, like, bullet sponge enemies that are so hard to kill?
Yeah.
I'm like pumping like 1,000 lemons and they're like not dying.
Yeah.
I have to mash like a madman. Like, why is this in the intro stage?
Yeah.
Crazy. I would... I don't know. I would have reworked this. I don't think 2 and 3, X2 and 3 have an intro stage with these like large, difficult enemies.
Sponges, yeah, for sure. It doesn't. The intro stage of 2 is very easy. Especially the final boss, you just have to like charge up and shoot like twice. That big chunkus. Chunkas.
Yeah, the intro stage is very complicated. I was like watching a tutorial today to like really break it down. There's stuff that you do towards the beginning of the stage that really affects how you do the end, because you need to have low health at the end for Vile.
Right.
However, yeah, it's not that simple to like take damage. Also, and you're relying on like health drops that may or may not come.
Yeah.
So it's like RNG involved. Like I need a health drop, but not a big health drop. I need like a little health drop. Like that's
Yeah.
it's not optimal to get a large health drop. And sometimes like you shoot an enemy and it drops health. This happened to me yesterday where when I was in the car section at the end of the intro,
Yep.
I got like hit. Oh no, right before that I got hit by an enemy and I killed him at the same time, and he had a large health drop and I like restored all my health.
Yeah.
Right before the part that I needed to have low health.
Right. Right.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know that the cars are another thing that like, you know,
Get-
you need to,
Getting on top of them is really hard. Getting them to like boost you over is hard.
yeah.
And then the ship at the end moves back and forth, so you kind of have to like guide it in a
Yeah.
way so that it's like in position already when you're done killing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole stage is fucking annoying. If you're gonna like replay a level a million times, it's like it really sucks that it has to be this one. Alright, whatever. You also have to like kill like the enemies that like drop the spikes and like destroy part of the stage. They cause so much lag, so like you have to
Yeah.
like kill them strategically as well. Like you can't just like let them live.
And they like swoop in really weirdly too.
Yeah. Even the falling blocks, like the falling parts of the highway, you have to like be careful not to like touch all of them because they lag.
Yeah.
So, it's just way too technical.
Probably.
Oh great, I have no health, so I can't do fast cars. Perfect.
Face fast.
Oh, didn't lose that much time. It's fine.
How's Barbara doing?
Good. A lot of late shifts.
Yeah. Work was so exhausting this week. Very long week.
Zero motivation to do work.
Yeah. For real.
Absolutely zero. Yeah, I was there a long time yesterday too, with all the goings on. Was it like a haunted house, like for real? Like, was it?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
Company only, huh?
It was company only for the tech rehearsal. Now I think it's open to the public on the 20th through the 31st of October. So, yeah. So it was just basically like company only and invites with it being like a tech rehearsal. Like, so it was fully functional and all that, which was cool.
Was it scary?
I wasn't scared, but James and Julianne were freaked out a little bit. I mean, it's all based on like startling, you know, trying to startle you and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it didn't bother me. Because
Nah.
I went into it knowing like, okay, we're gonna try to freak you out and stuff. So.
Yeah, I would say the scariest one was one we went to in Manhattan. This like famous one.
Mm,
That was pretty intense.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was laughing.
That's what I was doing. I was laughing because I was like, I know that they can't touch you.
They can't touch
Right.
you, but like
Yeah.
they can get in your face and make really loud sounds that are just like really
Yeah.
jarring.
Yes. Yeah.
But I love their enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Like the actors who
Yeah.
like put all that work to like do it.
Yeah. It was really cool. I have to say. I don't really like being scared or anything like that, but it was still neat to experience. Yeah. But yeah, so that was cool. And then I took them into the building and we went to the night show, we went to SNL. All the studios were basically empty, so we just had
Cool.
sort of, yeah, just sort of free reign to look around and take pictures and stuff, which was cool. So, and then we stopped by my floor and they got some free shit. It wasn't good stuff, but it was good. It was free. That the commerce team writes up. They write up like articles about products and stuff like that, and so we have a bunch of extra junk on our floor, but it's not good. It's like actually I got some sort of like thing that cleans your microwave, like you put like steam or something in it, and it's one of those things. So yeah. Oh my fucking god! I better not fucking die here. Oh my fuck! I fucking did. Jesus. No,
That's what I've been saying this whole time.
That is not optimal.
We're losing frames here, boys.
Freaking are. Alright, stuff there. Back my sheet up. Alright. That was super annoying. Alright. Yeah, I didn't know if you guys liked haunted houses. I thought
We did try them before, but I mean we don't go like every single time.
right.
They're
I-
intense.
I-
For Barb's, she
That's
likes
what I
it, but
was-
it's intense. It's intense.
That's what I was thinking. Well, I only had 2 tickets. I had asked James, so then I had a single, and I was like, I don't think Barbara's into it because I know she gets spooked with like weird dolls and other stuff.
Oh,
other-
definitely.
other creepy things. So I offered it to Juliet because I knew that she was in the city too. But I was thinking about you guys. I didn't know, but
Dude, don't worry about it.
yeah.
Oh, hey, a familiar person in the chat. What's up, man?
I'm not looking at chat.
Is that you, Wah?
Who-
I mean, are you changing your name every single time? It might be Wah.
What up? What up, Wah? Wah is good.
Yeah, it's Wah. Yes, I'm back in the saddle.
Oh yeah. Back in the Hurt Locker. I never saw that movie. I don't know what it's about.
Jeremy Renner.
Ah,
That's all. That's
it's
all I know.
about Jeremy Renner.
Yeah, it's an autobiography.
Awesome. Oh my god, I'm in the Hurt Locker.
I'm in the shit. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Eat
Oh.
chickens all night.
He says he saw Jeremy Renner in Ventura once. Was that pre-accident? I know he had a really, really intense
Oh yeah.
accident a couple of years ago.
The plow thing.
He was in Crusty Painter's fan looking sad. That sucks. He was pretty good in that movie Arrival. That's the only other thing I know him for, besides like Avengers, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, it was before the accident.
I was in the elevator with Kelsey Grammer yesterday, or the day before yesterday.
I know. Fucking
I was
hell.
so red. It was
I knew
the-
immediately that like Alan would be so jealous.
I know. When I told him, I was like, I know he really loves Fraser. He was nice. There was someone. So like, I was holding the elevator for my coworker who was like kind of dawdling behind me, and I saw Kelsey Grammer in the elevator, but some employee like basically put out their hand. It was kind of like, oh, you can't come in.
Yeah,
And
like
then-
go get the next one, bub.
Yeah, get the next one, and but I wasn't really looking too closely. I was looking at my coworker, kind of like motioning, like, "Come on, like, fucking hurry up." And then Kelsey Grammer was like, "Oh no, it's okay. Like they can get in and take it down with us." And I said, "Oh, thanks." And we got in, and we just took it like a couple floors down, and I said like, "Thanks again," or something.
Yeah, I'm sure they're just like always terrified that they're gonna be stuck in an elevator with some guy. You'd be like, "Oh my god, you're the guy."
I know. They tell us when we start work there, they tell us like those are just people going to do their jobs too. So like, don't lose your shit.
Yeah,
basically.
I know, but people get so starstruck.
They do.
But yeah, working at that company, you would just assume that's a given. Like all the employees should know how to behave like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. A shame you couldn't really say anything, but at the same time, it's still awesome.
Yeah, I should have said I love you in that one episode called Cause and Effect of Star Trek: The Next Generation, where you played Captain Morgan Bateson.
Yeah, I'm
Wasn't it
sure
like,
he
what the
really,
fuck?
sure he really remembers that.
That was an awesome episode. One of the best. One of the best. But anyway, I missed opportunity. I guess.
Missed opportunity.
I'm gonna sign into your stream so I can keep up with chat.
So you can keep up with this cringe gameplay.
Keep up with Chad.
Get down there, man. God damn it. Tony Hawk was always skating with his kids in Mission Beach. He loved when people stopped to take selfies. He's very wholesome. I've never read anything bad about Tony Hawk. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
Sometimes regular nice people end up becoming famous, and they don't like change and become like assholes.
Yeah, that's very pure.
That was a bad
Good.
fight. Kurt Russell, same way. San Diego native. He was always eating at the same restaurant, so you could just chat with him if you saw him there. Nice. Base Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
Alright, Spark Mandrill is a hard stage. I gotta lock in. Don't you dare.
Don't you dare.
Are you? I want to do a Twitch channel where all I do is this and flip through old National Geographics.
Huh, that'd be neat. Like almost like an ASMR channel.
Right.
You should flip through old video game magazines. That I would watch. Gladly. Those old magazines are so sick.
And just do some kind of script where if somebody attempts to write in the chat, they're automatically banned.
Oh,
Try to do that.
That is
Just by word of mouth alone, it's just gonna the legend of this channel will grow.
Yeah. Yeah, old Nintendo Power and PC magazine. There's so many cool ones like Game Informer, but you could do like the first issues of each of them, or like concurrent issues would be cool. So like if Nintendo Power is covering something, then like seeing what the others are covering too would be cool.
Nice. Get hit by first enemy.
Talk shit, get hit by first enemy.
Oh my god, go, go, go.
You tried it and you failed. And you dog.
Terrible. Yeah, LGR.
Yeah, love LGR.
A classic.
We saw him in person too.
We did.
He's very tall. He's a tall young lady.
What the fuck, man? Get out of my fucking way, man. I told you, no women, no kids, man. I fucking told you, man.
I think people are trying to cancel Al Pacino for playing someone of a different race.
Ah. Yeah, they're nice splits, but I usually end up dying somewhere. So my goal is to just stay alive. My PB is really not great, so the splits will look pretty nice. Yeah, I always knew that day would come where they would come after Al Pacino.
I know.
When he's old and frail, like, then they just pounce on him.
Yet still acting and still really good. Like The Irishman, he was great as what's his face?
Yeah.
I forget the guy. The Union guy. Oh, on the train.
Fuck, man. No!
Uh-oh. Spike Pit? Oh no, Spike.
How, man?
I know. As if it's not bad enough that those stupid things have the insta-kill front.
So hard to avoid.
Yeah. I know there's an invis wall on the right side. Fuck off, bitches.
Sean Connery, yeah. I mean, if it was still around to be canceled, he would be.
Speaking of, I was literally just gonna say this. It's so funny you mentioned Sean Connery. Remember, I told you a while ago I ran into some guy on the train that had a "You Only Live Twice" tattoo, like this really intricate, really well done.
Whoa. I think you have.
Bond's tattoo, yeah. Well, I saw him on the train. I was with James. And I know this dude lives in Astoria, and so I had to say something. I was late at night and I was drunk again, and I was just like, "Oh my God, Bond tattoo! I've talked to you before." And then I was like, I really went in. I was like, Bond movies. I was like, have you read the books? Like, what? I was like, Timothy Dalton is my favorite Bond. He's like, dude, me too. So we just
That's
went
great.
on this epic,
You met a friend on the subway.
Yeah, I went on this epic tirade, like both of us together, this epic back and forth, like diatribe about Bond. And he's like, "Oh, my name's Jake." I was like, "I'm Steve." If I see him again, I'm gonna be like, "We gotta hang out and talk about Bond." But he's in the neighborhood here somewhere. But it was so funny. James, I felt bad because James was just like there, miserable, probably.
He's got to tag along.
Yeah, but someone with a tattoo that cool, that intricate, it was an amalgam of several different Bond movies, like You Only Live Twice, and Thunderball, Goldfinger, and I think it was all just the Connery, some of the Connery Bonds. And I was like, yeah, how about when they made him Japanese?
Oh my God.
Hence
yeah, he'd
the
be canceled.
Yeah, like. What's so funny is that, like, so they make him Japanese in that movie as, like, an undercover, and he looks no way, shape, or form like a Japanese guy. He looks Vulcan from Star Trek. And he looks absurd, and they just kind of gave up, and they're like, yeah, this isn't really working. So they just kind of, like, loosely have him return back to being an Englishman again. Or, well, a Scotsman, I guess, playing an Englishman. It's just so funny. But yeah, Bond is one of those things that's like, you know, like, you speak the same language. It's so funny. But yeah, the dude is so cool. It's so awesome. To quote Hannah Markar, "Can you stop fucking hitting me with soul arrows, you bitch?" What? Listener slaps. Yeah, that moment in You Only Live Twice is a little bizarre.
It was a different time.
It was.
Different sensibilities.
Totally.
I'd always love people who will pounce on things from the past and be like, well, that's problematic. Bitch,
Yeah.
if you were around back then, you would not have a problem with it. Like, you were born when you were born, and that's the only reason why you think the way you do.
Yeah, and it's fine to look back and be like, wow, that's cringe by today's standards, but
Sure.
you also have to kind of accept, like,
yeah, it is what it is. Can't go
Yeah,
back and
and
change it now.
Well, right, and the fact is, like, if you're acknowledging that it's, like, ridiculous or bad or cringy, then that means that you've moved on a little bit from it. So, like, let's stop fighting the impossible, which is, like, changing the past.
Meanwhile, they're gonna look at all the entertainment we have today in like
Oh
50
my
years
God.
and be like, what? How are people like sitting down and watching this?
I look at old Facebook posts that I made from, like, even 10 years ago, and I'm like, what a cringe artist.
Dude, oh my God, I looked at my Instagram page for the first time in a while. I'm looking at like my first post.
Yeah.
It's cringe, man. Like, I was like writing some stuff in my head. I'm like, who is this for? Who was I writing this for? I don't even know. And then I logged into my Reddit account. I'm looking at like comments I made in like 2017.
Yeah.
It's not good. Things I was saying is just too much. It's too
The
much.
cringe artistry was too much.
No, if you know my Reddit account, just don't look at it.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing crazy. It's just like I'm like investing way too much energy in certain things and caring
Yeah.
way too much about these little things.
I was like, I keep getting reminded on Facebook of all this opera stuff because that's where I was like 10 years ago, and it's me like I'm so excited for the show tonight. It's
Yeah.
gonna be great, and I'm just like, dude, shut up.
The total lie.
Yeah, I mean, well, I believed it. It just was so cringe. Like, I'm like, who is this for? It's only my friends and family that like ever even saw those posts. Like, and I'm acting like I have this like captive audience. It's like, what am I doing? Really?
Man, you never used Reddit? That's good.
I like Reddit, but it can just sound into madness if you're not careful.
Even back, like, going back that long, like 10 years ago, Reddit was still bad.
Yeah.
The main criticisms people have for it, which are totally correct to have, is that it's just another hive mind place like Twitter
Yes.
is. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
you're not really going there to have discussions with people about things that you're both interested in. People are just like throwing vitriol at each other and
Yep.
just like dying on these insane mountains. Like, I don't know why people are so motivated to talk trash online the way they do.
What's funny, when I came to that realization was after the 2016 election, because Reddit was such an echo chamber of like there's no way Trump's gonna win. There's no way, like, such a psycho, and like all those things that are not
Yep.
necessarily wrong, but like they were like, there's no way, like they could not believe it. And then when it happened, it was like, oh yeah, Reddit, where was
Yeah.
the impossibility?
There's so much cope and just like
Yes.
ridiculous. Yeah, Reddit gold virtue farming. The idea
Yeah.
of the site is that like what you everything that is posted, even regular comments, you can vote on them if they're good
Yeah.
comments or not. So it naturally creates a hive mind situation where only the accepted opinions get upvoted,
Yes.
and
yes.
opinions that are different or the minority
wrong.
will get downvoted to oblivion, and they'll
Right.
get hidden. They actually get hidden after they have such a low mark.
Yes. Different, but and not necessarily wrong. Like
I have a
that's-
few posts, a few comments I made that were hidden
Yeah.
because I felt like speaking my mind. And yeah, they can actually just make your opinion disappear with enough
Yeah.
people, which is really silly.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the site. It's just hive mind shit.
Yeah. The other thing too is like there's another hive mind feature of Reddit is they're very, very anti like corporate. Anything that they perceive as like a conspiratorial, larger like influence. The only thing, like, okay, Reddit is a business just like every other social platform. They're trying to make revenue. If anything, like Reddit itself is trying, if the conspiracy comes from within, like Reddit is trying to make money off of its users. That's just a guarantee. So you
Yeah.
have to accept that fact that it's a social platform whose like parent company is trying to make money. That's one thing. But in terms of all this like deep state, this and that, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but these companies can barely get, they want traffic because they want ad revenue. So like if it's a publisher of some sort, it's not a conspiracy that they're buying all of this like visibility. There is astroturfing and those sort of things. but a lot of
Astroturfing is real.
it's real, but a lot of places like can't get their shit together. So I think like they think that, you know, a great example is a friend of or acquaintance of mine organically made a post on Reddit with he had some tradition with him and his friend getting each other a Bruce Willis themed gift every year, and they called it Brucemas. and it was like silly. It was amongst friends. It's like something that you know you would
Okay.
do, and it like escalated every year. They'd get for each other something like bigger and better. So one like the post my friend made is his friend got Bruce Willis to take a photo of a framed like autographed photo of himself that said like to Tyler, Merry Brucemas from Bruce, and it was a picture of him holding it, which is like the ultimate Brucemas gift, is Bruce Willis being in on it. And it was really cool. Like obviously it got like 100,000 upvotes or 200,000 upvotes. It was like on the homepage. But like there was suddenly this like chorus of comments like, huh, hail corporate, what a coincidence that the movie Glass is coming out in a week. This is like corporate like interference. It's like literally no.
Whoa.
It's just people just seeing patterns where there aren't any. So
yeah, exactly.
it's that. It's very that. So like even things that are organic, I also see a lot of like reposting and like karma farming and like,
Yes, that's
stealing.
always been a problem. Everyone will just
Yeah.
copy the top post, pretend like it's theirs, and they get like thousands of upvotes.
Right. But for all of those things that happen, sometimes I mean I still like reading Reddit because occasionally, like one of the funniest is some crazy organic bullshit will just happen. I follow the subreddit r/Drag Race, which is RuPaul's Drag Race. Somebody made a post there who's not familiar with Reddit, who's like, I was trying to watch the Formula One race, or there was someone
What?
who was very confused.
Drag Race. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Right, so someone who's like very unfamiliar with Reddit was just like trying to talk about drag racing, and all of the people in the comments got in on it. They were like, yeah, bro, that was sick. And it was just so fucking funny. They were like, did you see that? Like whoever it was, like Jeff Gordon or whoever was like wearing heels while driving. It was just stuff like that. It was
Oh
like,
my god.
it was just so unhinged. And so there are things that happen that are like very community based, but something that like also on the flip side like really turned me off to Reddit was people get very like, oh my fucking god, sorry, Dark Souls.
Oh my god, I made it to Boomer Kawanger with relatively little time lost. I'm like shaking right now.
Oh, sick.
Fuck.
I
But
think Lyle
yeah,
just
like
fully died.
sometimes the community makes it funny.
Yeah, but I think the community also can be so like gatekeepy and shitty. Like the Star Trek subreddit. This is what really like did it in for me recently was the Star Trek subreddit is sucking the teeth of like these new shows. They have some bullshit rule that's like no negativity, so you can't put like. And same with Star Wars. You can't say like, "Oh, the Acolyte sucks shit," because that's seen as violating the rules of no
Right.
negativity. So
Well, when
that's
you're
just,
praising a show, you can say whatever bullshit you want.
yes,
You can just
yes,
fillet it with all of your enthusiasm.
right,
But if you're going to offer criticism, it has to be very polite criticism. It needs to be very
Yeah.
constructive criticism. You can't just like say that it's bad.
exactly, and that's so.
While like the Acolyte.
Wow,
Come on.
come on now, not like these.
Oh, your brother's in the chat. Okay, Boomer. That's so bad. That's so bad.
I think that all the time when I hear Boomer Kalanger, I think
3,
okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I'm curious, what did you
14,
like about
15,
the Acolyte?
16.
And I'm open to opinions. I'm not one of those people that's just like any opinion that differs from my own is automatically wrong. I'm just like I'm curious. There were a couple of elements that I like about it, and things I didn't mind that a lot of other people seem to really hate. I'm just curious. Like I didn't care. I didn't even think that they were lesbian. But I didn't really care about the lesbian witch cult. That really didn't bother me.
They're lesbian, but they didn't make out at all.
so it was not good.
Yeah, it was a fucking waste of a premise.
Oh my god.
don't let the Reddit mob hear me say that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get canceled.
I'm sued.
Lesbian space witches that don't make out even once? Why even include them?
Lesbian.
Thespian.
Right, they were thespians. They were actually.
Yeah, they were just really enthusiastic about the works of William Shakespeare.
So you liked how it was more of a cop/espionage drama in the Star Wars universe. When I heard that was the premise, I was just like, okay, but I think it can go off the rails because Star Wars is like high fantasy, and I feel like investigations and cops and that sort of thing starts to kind of be at odds with the like magical mumbo jumbo of Star Wars. So that's one thing. I think there's room for it, but I also would argue that it just made no sense. Like, what were they even investigating? Like, this Rick James girl?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to interject and
No, all good.
say let's not get too wrapped up in the Acolyte discussion.
Yeah,
feel
it
like
tends to go off the rails.
A little bit off the rails. But going back to like mob mentality on online forums, like Reddit is so guilty of that.
Yeah.
It's basically whatever the mob wants.
Yeah.
Some famous moment that some people may not remember. Fucking shit. Some people may not remember this, but I do. Do you remember the Boston Marathon bombings?
I unfortunately do.
Do you remember that Reddit thought they tracked down the guy?
Yes, I do.
And it turned out to be some random fucking dude, and they actually created this witch hunt.
Yes, I remember that.
Fuck me, man. Fuck this stupid fucking game.
I do remember that. That was bad.
Right. So they got together and they were like, yeah, we can do the FBI's job for them. And they like started like taking note of details that like ended up being like total stretches, you know? Like they were just like linking evidence that like was not actually linked.
Yeah.
And they found this like poor dude and were like, guys, like you guys need to arrest this guy right now. He's connected, he's involved. It turned out to be just some guy, and it like almost ruined his life because the cops were after him. Yeah. Like they actually like took that into consideration and like investigated that lead and wasted police time and resources. Right. Isn't that insane? That's the power of the mob. Just like accomplishing nothing useful.
Brigading. Yeah, that was bad. That was bad.
What a fucking mess. That really should have given everyone a lot of perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's freaky. Like, oh my god, like if they just don't like you, they can just tell their gang to like go after you, find out where you live, where you work. When this culture of like cancellation wars started happening, like it was brought up immediately. I'm like, you can't just have these like witch hunts about people if you're not even sure they did anything wrong. Like you can't just say like, this person was mean to me, get him, and then everyone is like doxing them, finding out where they work, sending shit to their boss. Like I'm not sure like mob mentality or mob justice is real justice.
No.
But that's kind of stuff those kind of opinions will get you downvoted.
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
Upvoted.
Alright, I gotta kill this NPC.
false accusation drama type of shit. It always backfires. Yeah, you know, it backfires, but no one really gets held accountable. All these people sitting on their in front of their keyboards, you realize that they just did something really wrong and they'll never pay for it.
Yeah.
They'll never ever answer for it. They really thought they did something positive. Kind of tortured life for you folks. Yeah, right? Like, people really have nothing else better to do than to play, like, play fantasy cop on the computer.
Yeah.
It comes from an overinflated ego and sense of importance that they have in their lives. They really think they're, like, incredible at everything they do. The sheer arrogance to think that, like, you can, like, solve this case from your house in your pajamas.
Yeah.
It's just sheer arrogance.
It is.
I love the intro stage. Those who can't control themselves always try to control others. Unfortunate.
Word.
Yo, that'd be like philosophical and shit.
Indeed.
That's fire. Know what else is fire? Getting through the intro stage.
Yeah.
Ba-da-ba. Wah wants to join us on voice chat. Are we ready to go to that level of relationship? Seems to recall when the Reddit user base shut down the site with a protest. What advertiser want to spend money when that's allowed to happen? Was this when they like went public or something?
Oh yeah.
Was that same protest, like that blackout?
I think so.
Yeah, yeah, they were going public, and that meant that like third-party apps won't work anymore, and there would only be like the official apps. And there was a huge protest, and they shut down the whole site, and it like did nothing. It accomplished nothing. That being said, that forced me to like uninstall the third-party Reddit app that I had because it stopped working, which sucked.
Oh, I'll be right back.
And I never downloaded Reddit again. I don't have the app on my phone. That's my protest. My protest is not downloading their app, not visiting their site, not giving them ad revenue. If everyone did that, I think that would actually accomplish something. Yeah, they think capitalism is evil, but they take part in capitalism a little bit more indulgently than the rest of us do, I think. Got a Patrick Star thing? We'll have to review that. We can do a whole stream with voices. We'll have to pick a character and commit to it. What's crazy is that capitalism affords a very high quality of life for a large group of people, but not everybody. So there is this eternal struggle of finding a system that works for everyone, and I'm not sure if any nation has ever been successful in doing that, unfortunately. And I mean like a high modern quality of life for every single citizen. I'm just not sure that's ever existed. And I think we can do a whole lot better than what we're doing now. Capitalism seemed to work best decades ago when there wasn't laws preventing corporations from writing their own rules. Yeah, boomers really enjoyed capitalism. Boomers got all the benefits of capitalism and none of the downsides. Yeah, obviously they want everyone to work so everyone can be a worker bee and generate shareholder value. Damn it. But I think the reason why everyone's so unhappy now, as opposed to like, I don't know, any other time period in the last century. Okay, if we just looking at like post World War II, you have a period of pretty much relative prosperity. I can't focus. Well, there was food. Food used to be locally sourced. There used to be laws that, you know, there were standards for food production. Chicken was made out of chicken. The chickens were fed natural things that chickens eat.
Hello, Chinese
Hey.
food, please.
Hello.
Something about
No, yeah, we're just talking about capitalism and
and how it's the best thing ever.
yeah, but I don't know if it's really as bad as people say. What I'm trying to say is, like, without going on too long, is we had a version of capitalism that really worked out for most things, and then we slowly like had all of our rights eroded by giving corporations way too much power.
Well, yeah, because we had anti-monopoly like laws that are kind of improving over time.
We had a body of government that was protecting consumers.
Yes and no, but
For a time, we did. We really, really did.
yes and no. The companies did rob people blind too. So it's like consumer protection laws have changed for the better in some instances, but have also been broken in others. If that makes any sense.
Well, in the sense that like our food is completely made of crap now, and nothing is cheap, nothing is real, everything's artificial, everything is killing us. Nothing we eat is like healthy anymore. Chicken is like barely even made out of chicken. It's chicken product. And I'm just saying that didn't used to be the case. We didn't used to live like this.
No.
And what happened? We just got used to companies telling us that this is the way things are. This is a product. Be glad to pay $12 for a McDonald's sandwich that is completely like
I mean,
fabricated from the depths of hell.
We're talking about slightly different things, though. We're talking about fast food versus like food you buy at grocery stores.
If even the food, dude, the food you buy in the grocery store is coming from these all the chicken is like coming from just a couple of companies that own everything.
Yes, and they're pumped full of antibiotics.
And
but
yeah,
still somewhat. It's still chicken versus like I guess chicken minced product at McDonald's.
consider that also supermarkets are filled with pre-made products.
Is that
I don't know.
Angelo? Oh, not Angelo. Is that Steve?
Hello,
That's
I'm
Steve.
Angel.
I thought you were here this whole time.
No, I'm playing Dark Souls. I just had to exit for a second.
Wait,
But anyways.
who the hell was Angelo talking about too? Then?
Just a chat.
Oh, I thought we were talking to him.
My grandpa told me a lot about growing up in Brooklyn in the 30s. And he said the same stuff. Yeah, I mean, like, a company that built... If you had, like, a local company or group that made furniture, or they made tools, you know, if you were to buy a hammer or some kind of, like, equipment, it would have some kind of, like... I don't know, it would be built so well that it could be passed to your son and your grandson. I mean, this thing would just stay in your family. And now capitalism doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean the best product will win. Now capitalism means the cheapest product will win.
Yes, because it's about, you know, I guess owning a market share versus like getting a good reputation and having a long-lasting image.
Every company that used to be lauded for their quality is now known for just cheaping out.
Steven, you're a cheap whore. Let's play
I mean,
Dark
it'd be nice to own things that would last more than one generation, you know?
Yeah.
Sorry, well, I'm gonna have to pass on that one, bro. We'll do it another time for sure.
Souls. Wait, what happened?
Juan wants to join on chat.
Wah.
We'll do it next time, not tonight though.
Wah. Huh. Yeah.
Whoa,
What is it good for?
a lot of things. Makes a lot of money. Makes a lot of people very rich.
Yep.
If only it would make me rich.
I mean, do you want to get into an arms, like, you want to become an arms dealer with me? We can.
If you and I want to go into that, I'm down.
I have some connections that could help you.
All my moral convictions disappearing the moment I get the job offer from the government.
Oh,
The
no,
War
as soon as I-
Department.
As soon as I see dollar signs, I have morals. Get that back.
I can't play, bro.
You can have morals when you can afford to have morals, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Dun, na, na, na. Dun, na, na. I was watching clips from Castlevania turning
Yeah. What was your favorite thing?
in. When he gets his magic back,
Oh
obviously.
yeah.
When Stella gets her. But no, yeah, no, that scene is awesome. Cheesy, but I love the music. Like, I love all of it. Well, that scene plus the reveal at the end of the season.
My favorite scenes are pretty much every scene with Olrox.
Which one's Olrox again? Oh, no, I know
The
what you're talking about. The
yeah.
Native American Indian?
The vampire, yeah, the native vampire.
The Native American vampire?
I think he's Aztec or something, or he's
Right.
like indigenous.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Forget his backstory already, other than
Well, he says that he fell in love with somebody who was in the colonies. I think he said he's from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Well, he's got that relationship going on with the knight.
Yeah, but he was saying like his first real love was
Yeah.
from Massachusetts, and he, I think, was a freedom fighter for like the United States, I think.
Yeah. And I think he turned him into a vampire, and what's his name? Richter's mother kills him.
Yeah,
Because, you know, to her, it's just another vampire.
right.
Just adds a good layer of complexity. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a great storyline. I wish they rewrote the story to include him more,
I know.
but alas.
They'll probably do some more flashbacks or something.
Yeah.
I'm so mad about Sony's fucking console. Not to go off on a thing, but a video just popped up.
Oh, just the anniversary thing, bro. Come
Yeah.
on, you cannot feel like.
I'm salty. I wanted the Pro to be something worthwhile, and this would have been tits if it was actually like a worthwhile console, but it's not. I'm just
But
like,
you keep like holding out that like they're gonna put out a product that like fits all of your dreams, and it will never happen.
if this console is fully backwards compatible, I would have been happy to spend $700. Like,
Fully backwards compatible with every PlayStation that came before it, that's never going to happen.
No way.
It is never going to happen. It's crazy that you're even expecting it. It's just straight denial.
I said hoping, not expecting.
Die.
Their vision of the future does not have disk drives. That's it. These decisions are made by a lot of people, not just one guy.
I know. Well, I do feel like Mark Cerny's fucking taking the lead.
All I want games to have LOD built in. Yeah, it's a shame consoles really can't provide that kind of thing, but I understand why.
I mean, people have already compared the SSDs because there's two SSDs technically in the PS5. There's soldered on SSD that houses the OS and the SSD version that they didn't upgrade. So they're actually examining now that the SSD that's soldered on is kind of a bottleneck a little bit.
Solder.
Jeez, I wonder what company helped with that trend.
You're gonna blame Apple for that one?
Yeah, because everyone just followed suit afterwards. They're like, oh, people don't know otherwise. It saves us money. So now, like, every nice end laptop now has soldered on.
Yeah, it's crazy how that's a standard practice now.
I mean, sometimes you get options. Oh yeah, did you guys see the Devil May Cry trailer?
Negative.
It's coming out with the anime. Same thing with by the same guy that did Castlevania.
I thought he was
Oh.
canceled.
Apparently not.
The one who did Nocturne or the old Castlevania show?
Executive producers Adi Shankar.
Oh yeah, the original guy.
Well, I mean, he's executive producer.
I know that was one of the other properties that he wanted to explore along with Metroid.
I was about to say, just give him Metroid.
There's no way now. Even if it was a dead franchise, they'd never do it.
Nintendo will hold on to their IP with just clenched. They will not let anyone near it.
I've been also watching clips of Frasier, thanks to Steve.
I was just telling Angela about that.
Like,
Star Wars Rogue Squadron 3 as a suggested speed game.
I would love to see you speedrun that game. That's my favorite.
Is there a 3?
Yeah, it's on the GameCube.
Oh.
That's my favorite.
I thought it was just called Rogue Leader.
It is, It is Rogue Squadron 3 Rogue Leader. What is 2 again?
Oh my gosh.
I'll be honest, I pretty much have not
Oh, no,
played
no.
any Star
3.
Wars games.
3 is Rebel Strike, that's right. Rogue Leader, I think, is the second one.
The only Star Wars games I've ever played is probably like Pod Racer and Battlefront 2.
You should give the other ones a try. They're very good.
I know, but I mean, it's just the way it went down. I hate myself.
Steve, how is your Ignis tonight after you're playing Dark Souls?
Still intact.
Really? Where are you?
I just killed the what's his face, Dark Sun Gwyndolin, and
Oh. So you know what's,
I-
you know what's up with Twitter then, right?
yeah. I am now going to the Duke's Archive,
No, fuck that library.
Crystal Cave.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, you could. What I remember, I think you could do that earlier before.
Yes, you can.
It is a maze though, and then there's a lot of long shot times.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's basically what I want to.
Oh my god, I can't believe that happened.
I mean, are you?
I think I saved that. Sort of. Ugh. I used a charge shot and then I turn the other way and shoot the wrong way. What the fuck is wrong with me? Is Zero a guy or a girl?
Both.
Listen, I'm just still trying to figure out what he's fighting for. Okay?
For Iris.
Constitutional rights. Boy. Big boy.
His waifu Iris.
Iris. Iris. Iris.
Zero is a guy, are you sure?
But,
He'd make a cute girl.
oh my god.
Alright, here we go.
Here we go.
Well, he does have that odd display.
It is,
Oh my, why can I not do Chill Penguin? Why?
Well, at least now you have very good music to listen to while you attempt it.
That doesn't make me feel better.
Well, let's tell you.
Oh. Why is it hot again?
I know. I was wondering the same thing today. I was walking home and I was drenched. I was carrying a lot. It's quite frustrating.
I don't know, man. This stage fucking sucks. Ugh.
Unviolate. I hear somebody watching something.
Could be me.
Oh, good. Oh yeah, I found those strategy guides today. I was happy about that.
Oh yeah, how random was that?
It was cool.
Oh yeah, how was your haunted house thing?
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Did you actually enjoy it?
Yeah, I had a happy hour prior too, so I wasn't really that like freaked out or anything.
That's cool.
Actually, gotta
Yeah.
eat 2 bananas and drink a glass of milk before bed tonight. Tomorrow you'll have the best day. I only have milk, so that's a problem. But good suggestion.
But yeah, the haunted house was a lot of like, you know, jumping out and like trying to scare you and stuff. So I just kind of anticipated there would be a lot of that, so
Yeah.
I kind of saw it coming then. So
Okay.
They are fun. I just wouldn't do them all the time.
yeah,
Well, yeah, they lose their assume they lose their magic
alright.
You have what makes it really fun is just going with somebody really, really like who gets really scared.
Yeah.
Then it's hilarious.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know. Like James and Julianne were freaking out a lot, which was funny to me. So, in the best way possible. I mean,
Yeah.
Julianne less so. James gets really skittish over those things.
Yeah, people
So-
are very like on edge. To see them freak out is funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Right. Not in a mean way, but in a like, oh, that's funny. But,
It's crazy. I feel like this month is not necessarily
yeah, what about that?
I work for a Chiquita Banana Corporate. Are you shilling bananas?
Imagine that's your job is to shill it.
Are you astroturfing my stream?
Oh my god. I hope so.
Imagine somebody just gets paid to go in random Twitch streams or YouTube streams and just starts talking about some product.
Yeah, right. Mega Man Battle Network 4 is one of the worst Battle Networks.
That's the only one I actually own. Red Sun, right?
Yeah, and Blue Moon,
Actually,
like the beer.
actually, wait, no. Is it Red Sun or Blue Moon?
Reed Sun, Blue Moon.
No, it's Red Sun. I own Red Sun. My friends gave me that one, which is kind of cool.
The series was supposed to end after 3, because it culminates in the story being kind of fully fleshed out, and then typical Capcom, they were like, let's keep cranking out more, and they're not very good. 4 is really strange because it, like, you know, they were always the isometric perspective, and it still is, but it's like everything is smaller. Like all the character models are then smaller, the cities are smaller. I think they just did sort of like a redesign. I don't know. It's not good. The music isn't as good. It's not that like awesome like blend of classic NES Mega Man with like beats. It's the music starts to suck, and yeah.
Well, I mean, at least we got the collection.
Well,
I just really wish they put it like Square Enix where you can do the counter skip, because that is like the biggest problem with the game. Especially when it's
well, you just got to use your chips more efficiently. Escape.
No, it's a port. It's a modern port. You should just fucking.
Chips indeed.
It certainly makes the old game. Like if they ever ported, they would never do it. But if they ever ported, like
You want to try Mega Man X on Saturn? No, I never have.
No transparency.
That's X3, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure how they're different, quite honestly. They might be similar, maybe, but I don't know. So I have like 3 major areas left in Dark Souls, and then I'll be done. Hopefully, in the next week or 2, I'll move on to Zelda.
commend you for actually like, because you could have just at least beat the story.
Yeah. Really weird noises happening outside.
It's not me.
No, it's me here. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean the story is pretty much wrapped up almost, but yeah, I just have those areas left to go, and I think I'm only a little over 40 hours in, but it feels like a lot longer.
I still did get Zelda and
Alan, have you been following the Switch 2 leaks?
I think I messaged you guys about it. I mean, there are 3D renders and supposedly a picture. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for a production line.
People just can't wait to be surprised. I guess.
I get it. I don't know. Like Nintendo obviously wants holiday sales. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, will they reveal it this year at all?
Unknown.
Just because they obviously want to sell more Switches.
Yeah. It's crazy that the thing is still selling after this long. People are still getting them.
I know.
Well, I mean, like I own 2 of them. Like they got me too, right?
I own 2 as well,
I didn't
but
know you
I
owned
bought them. I have a Switch Lite, but I've never really played it. I honestly don't even care. It was like,
oh, trust me, the
it was-
temptation to buy the Hyrule edition while I was there. I chose not to.
well, that's kind of sick. It's like $30. I got it for like $30, so I was like,
Oh, yeah, that's worth it. Switch
yeah, the
Lite
Hylian one.
doesn't make
I
sense
don't-
for me because I have the OLED version, which like I got because I play a lot of anime.
Yes.
That was an awful stage. Heaven help me.
Now.
Yeah, I agree that the market is flooded with high-end handhelds.
Mhm.
I'm sure they're gonna have some way of making this different than the rest.
Yeah. Well, even if they just make it like a, better performing Switch with capable of like PS4 graphics on,
They said they
With the-
that's supposed
yeah, but like
PS4.
with a light form factor and cheap, relatively speaking, people
Well,
will
you-
still buy it.
You saw the leaks. I mean, supposedly they were like they're switching out the system for a more like magnetic.
Yeah,
system,
electromagnets.
So it doesn't like wear over time and stuff. I mean, we'll see what they decide to do. Personally, I feel like we've hit the point of diminished returns. That's why I'm not impressed with the PS5. It's just like it doesn't. I mean, yeah, I guess if you count the pixels, it is 4K versus 1080. But
They're just making
it
a
just
huge
doesn't look
mistake. The other two companies, they're just like trying to, like, it's like an arms race for like high performance, but consumers don't even know what the fuck they're doing. Like,
They really
most
can't tell
people-
the difference.
yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they're clueless. Like 4K TV, it's like, okay, I like 4K, but like broadcasts aren't even in 4K. Like a lot of like cable and stuff. So yeah, so I think like
I mean, I got a 4K TV, but that's because of
Oh my god, get up there.
4K TV.
yeah, no, I mean it's certainly fine. Like I'm not saying that it's not good. I just mean like for most consumers they have no clue. And so then to get these like extreme performance boxes that,
But they're
PC
not
or
even that
whatever.
extreme performing. I mean,
Well, right.
the CPU. I mean, granted, graphics performance is there, but like the chips in the PS5 are already old and
Well, right. So that therefore,
like,
if they're not,
you know.
if they're not performance machines, what are they doing for people then? They're just
called
like,
snake oil. Like
It's snake
like
oil.
the Gen 5 SSD bullshit they sold people when the PS5 dropped, and it's like there's no real benefit. Developers aren't going to take advantage of this. It's fake. PC gamers never had this. Like, it's fake.
well, right. And so I mean, again, my point is like they're not doing anything creative or innovative. They're just like scarfing up big studios, but that's not what people are interested in. They want like games. They want like something fun experiences, and I don't feel like those
No.
companies
but,
offer that.
The PS5 is selling though.
I
People are buying them. The problem is the install base for 4 was large.
yeah.
The other issues too. I mean, people have when the Pro got announced too. People did say like, where are other games?
Where are the games?
But then they do something like Astrobot, which supposedly is a really good platforming game,
Yeah,
and
true.
they're like, why can't you just do this like a lot more like you used to?
Yeah.
I just think Sony lost a lot of its spirit, I guess. I think it was influenced too much by Western developers, like way too fucking much. Where Nintendo was just like, we don't care that much.
1,
And they're a lame.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Not that
8, 9, 10,
they're, I
11,
I do hope they lose to
12, 13, 14, 16.
Who?
they're suing the Power World developers.
Oh, fuck
World.
Pal World. Pal
No,
World's
fuck. I
scum.
hope they lose. I want those.
Pal
fuckers to
World
open
is
so
scum.
much.
Pal World is scum.
Nope. And they have millions now. Millions.
Have you watched gameplay
I have
of
the
Pal
game.
World?
He
I have
bought
the
it.
game.
Played it?
Yes.
How much have you played?
Hours.
It's a beta cuck. It has no story. It has nothing going on.
It's if you like the survival games.
It's
Which I do.
nonsensical.
But
It's
I
a
do-
it's a clone of it's bullshit. AI generated bullshit.
let them win this. Let Nintendo feel.
No.
Especially
I don't know
for a
what.
company. Fuck them.
Well, I'm not a fan of what the Pokemon company is doing, but I'm just saying like Pal
I'm
World is
curious.
really.
I'm curious about what patent infringement that hasn't been yet. I'm waiting for like to look at papers to see what the hell they're talking about. I'm just curious.
Pal World has no story. It has nothing going for it other than just having like AI generated Pokemon-esque looking things and like guns weirdly and like kind of a weird Pokemon Legends Arceus type gameplay.
It's a clash of crazy different styles. It doesn't work together.
Exactly,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Cartoony
but-
monsters and
But before
realistic-
this year started, or no, I'm sorry, up until now, it's made $442 million.
I know because it's a meme, and then also because people want what they think is like better, like a better gameplay experience out of Pokemon that hasn't been delivered, and so they're like, "Oh, I want to try this." Like that's why. Like the game has no substance. I wonder what like the retention rate is for it because I think it just ends at some point too. They
Fortnite
say
/
it's beta.
Genshin and Pokemon.
Yes, 100%.
And well, and Honkai Star Rail. Although those have stories. Play them.
I
Like
know.
Zone
Pal World
Zero.
was just an unholy
Let it
bastard.
let it win. Let it win.
Yeah,
Let it ride.
it's
I
like
hope
an
so.
it's an abortion.
Because
It's an abortion.
there will be floodgates.
It's an impregnated relative who wasn't able to go get an abortion because of fans.
Because of Trump.
Perfect metaphor.
Who has another
Well, just two.
between that and then like the Beaver situation in Israel. and the
Beaver?
situation.
They're pager.
I don't know. I use them synonymously.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference. I don't think there is a difference.
Fuck.
I was still alive when people use beavers. Very much so.
I don't think I was ever around anyone who hadn't had.
The abortion was post-birth, the first of its kind. It was a medical breakthrough.
Killing babies
They had the top doctors on the case.
after they're born. Pal World needs to be taken out and shot.
Yeah, I hope they succeed. I really do hope they succeed. Also.
Why?
Why do you have a
are
horse in
what
this
point Are you
race?
trying to make?
Well, because I think the fucking Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are like a huge fucking patent troll. They attack everything and everybody.
They
make the
are,
fucking
but
legal
this
dick
is
around Way
legitimate.
too much. It's not
They-
legitimate though, because remember, they're not suing under copyright. They're suing under patent law, and people are just like, this is weird for a lot of reasons.
Explain.
What?
Because
That-
they haven't revealed it yet. They just announced that they're doing it. So I want to know what
So
exactly.
Feel
So you
upset-
don't even
feel
know.
upset when you know.
I want to know what.
You don't even know what you're mad
supposedly-
about.
because they're trolling. What patents could they possibly patent under Pokemon?
Well, they patented like Zelda.
No, because like
Tears of the
supposedly there's a
Kingdom.
patent on the ball mechanic, which is a wild patent for me. Because like, okay, you patented the concept of capturing a monster in an orb. Like,
Why
fuck
are
off.
you mad? Companies have patented everything.
It's bullshit. It's not it's not an original idea.
It. I know it's not an original idea even to Pokemon, but the game is so obviously like a Pokemon ripoff. But I mean, TBD, right? Like, see what they're proposing with impacts. I think also they're just trying to like. They're probably also trying, even if it's like more of a frivolous lawsuit, they're trying to stop the negative attacks on their own company that people create when they draw comparisons between this new meme bullshit game and things that they actually
Oh,
produce.
I don't think there's a connection there. I think the only negativity they got were like people enjoyed Power World. They were like, Pokemon Company, finally do something different, please.
That's negative.
Yeah, good. Them Pokemon has sucked for like over
Yo,
a
you're
decade
blowing
now.
out my
Yelling,
microphone right
not
now.
yell- Yeah, you're just peaked out.
Sorry. No, good. Fuck them
Yeah.
though. It's been shitty for like over a decade.
I am deeply critical of Pokemon as well, but I'm just saying, like, you can't just like copy the concept and like not even do it better. But okay, let's say do it better. It's like you know, it makes me sad that like another Metroid 2 remake, you know, like that obviously got
Oh,
killed.
then that got shut down before like the remaster on 3DS or whatever it was.
Yeah, and a lot of other things. But like when somebody else comes along and does it better and companies shut it down, like yeah, that's sad, but like they kind of have to do that. I mean, what's the alternative? Just letting other people profit off of
Come
their
on.
own IPs? I mean,
Fuck.
it's unfortunate, but it's
Yes,
just what it is.
I'm totally fine with
Shutting down like people using IPs by companies.
that. Yeah, I'm totally okay with that.
Well, yeah. So that's like, I know it's different than whatever Pal World is being sued for, but you know, there's some DNA there as well.
Mets won. Sorry, I've been heavily watching the Mets scores. Because there's a chance for them to enter the playoffs in some kind of wild card, fucking weird scenario. But yeah, no. I hope there's.
I'm shocked you're so invested in this company.
Because as much as I
In Pal World.
give, no, as much no, it has nothing to do with Power World itself. As much as I like Nintendo, and when people like love shitting on them, I will mention like the good things they do. Because like to me,
Oh, that's
the
very
Switch-
brave of you.
the Switch is like the only real console left, in my eyes. I don't think the PS5 is a console. I don't really think the Xbox obviously is a console.
It's a console.
They're locked PC boxes, basically.
Locked
You know what else
boxes?
is locked at this time?
Angelo's pathetic cock.
It's
Oh,
not
God.
that pathetic.
Oh, God. Anyway,
You recently upgraded from baby to Nana.
but
I hope my brother.
It's not that pathetic anymore.
no, this is the side of Nintendo I fucking despise. Like despise.
Who doesn't? No one likes a highly litigious company, but it also like doesn't affect you whatsoever.
Right.
I don't know, man. Who knows? We might get a better Pokemon product out of this.
I think they take feedback. I mean, I don't know.
Did they?
Yeah. Well, it's who knows, right? Who knows what they're cooking up? I have heard. No one knows for sure because obviously it's like in their best interest to be buttoned up and not acknowledge shortcomings. But I think they've given interviews saying that like they're disappointed that fans are disappointed, but the game still
I
sells.
mean, what did you
like-
expect? Do you remember when Scarlet and Violet launched? It was supposed to fix everything wrong with Sword and Shield, and it was like a worse, buggy looking
No,
mess
it wasn't
than-
ever said. That was not ever said that it's fixing. I think they were trying new things as a result of what people had kind of been asking for, like more
That's
of
what I
an
mean.
open world. and-
Because like Sword
they
and Shield
never
had so
said-
much negative feedback, especially the fact that they announced DLC before the game even dropped, and there was all this crazy crap around it, and then Scarlet and Violet was supposed to be some sort of return to form, and it definitely was not.
I'm sorry. Do games only drop now, or are they still released?
They drop like an album, Angelo. They drop like.
They
your
drop
voice.
like an album. Okay,
Yes.
just checking.
Sorry, I
They-
wasn't
they-
paying attention.
A
They
lot of
drop
things.
it-
Things
they
seem to
drop-
drop a lot these days.
They drop it like it's hot.
I have not been sorry while paying attention to what you're saying, but he said they have gone after a lot of small knockoffs before. Pokemon in particular is a highly protected IP in terms of image and association. Yes, it's actually the political reason. Pal World is not better in any stretch. They stepped on their toes in terms of demographics, but it's cool to see. Yeah, I think,
What are
I
you
think
doing?
it-
Reading chat?
yeah, so for kids aged 9 to 13, yeah. You know, and that's the other thing that's the other thing that I've had to make peace with, is that Pokemon is not a franchise for adults.
No.
You know, so my expectations and your expectations as grown folk are not really.
But-
It's like you know, being into kids shows forever. Like you want more complex storylines and stuff. It's like, well, they're a kids show. It's sad, and there have been attempts to age up Pokemon a little bit, and there's 2 of them, and those games are great, but that's just not what they're ever maybe going
that's
to do.
I was about to say actually that. I was like, yeah, why can't we have 2 main lines where we get like a Coliseum in one and you give the kiddies their bullshit, or a Gale of
Yeah.
Darkness in one and you give the kiddies their
I
bullshit.
I don't know. They're doing what they're doing. I don't know. But it is what it works. I mean, it makes money, so that's
So
There's
much money. But it is going to be fun and interesting to watch, like Nintendo go up against a company that actually has money. Like they have money.
good luck or bad luck. Fuck Pal World.
I hope they win.
I
And
can't
then
believe the company that created Genshin Impact hasn't been sued for like copying Breath of the Wild.
You never say that to a group of like fans.
Oh please.
They deny that tooth and nail.
They're the same fucked up people who have like hentai of Ura from Zelda or whatever on their hard drives. Like
Oh.
those are the same people.
Poor Pura,
Wait,
man.
what's wrong with having Pura hard drive?
You just outed yourself on
We're-
purpose.
We're adults. Has a lane on site that says because we're adults.
I was rewatching. Do you remember the Bizarro episode?
Yeah,
She makes the Bizarro friends. It's
I know
great.
every episode.
Do you know?
I hate
You-
every
you
ape
even-
I see from chimpanzee to chimpanzee.
Do you?
Dr. Zays, Dr. Zays.
Nice.
Dr.
Tell me, Dr. Zayas.
It was a weird episode.
It was great. It was about like celebrity comeback.
Right, no, I know, but it's such a weird episode.
Bill Hartman. Oh,
And it was so fucking catchy too.
Yeah, classic Simpsons that got it done right.
Lunch octopus. Delicious.
Say lunch.
Takoyaki.
It's amazing. Your live chat won't show up today. No.
My mom is actually a big fan of Falco.
Falco Lombardi.
The singer from the Dr. Zayas reference. Like the song that they're singing.
Rock Me Amadeus.
Rami Amadeus,
Yeah.
yeah.
Are they European?
I think he's German. But my mom listened to that when she was younger.
That's awesome.
It's kind of cool. So
The
you're on beta
I thought-
segment, or alpha segment.
I thought you meant Falco Lombardi. I was like, because Falco's Italian.
Oh. Dude, no, man. Fuck this stupid fucking game.
Oh no.
That was unlucky.
It wasn't luck, I miss. I miss.
The song, I don't know if the song's about the movie. I I know the movie like Amadeus was around like was in the 80s, right? In that era.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe it's just good timing. I'm not sure. I'm gonna look it up. I was just referencing the movie. I forget why. Oh, because I think to my brother, because we were watching Star Trek Insurrection, starring.
Why?
It wasn't as bad as I remember. But
Really?
it stars F. Murray Abraham, who played Salieri in
Now, I have a question. Do you think that or First Contact is better?
I mean, I don't really like either of them, but I think I almost said Amadeus. First Contact is better. There's a lot of cocaine in the 80s, I imagine. So. Where did Violet go? Oh, there you go.
Dude, he just like taking a walk somewhere.
I know, right?
Such horseshit. Where the fuck? I screwed up the cutscene skip. I died. Vile just like left the room for a little bit.
He had to take a
Don't
pee.
know where the fuck he went. It's such horseshit. I hate this game. It was an okay run for a little bit.
Good late game practice, I guess. So anyway, going back to the Acolyte. Not that. Any reference to Acolyte should be an auto ban in your chat.
Oh my god. Not a bad idea.
What does it matter? It's fucking dead.
Please. Oh my god, bro.
One more day to get through.
And we're seeing each other Sunday?
Sunday, yeah, for sure.
Sunday. Let me know if you want me to bring it in.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, Alan, I was telling Angela I went to this halal place that's new. Joel sent me an Instagram post of it. Like, I guess it was from TikTok. It was like the most insanely delicious food I've had in a long time, and it was so cheap. It was like a smash burger, like this gigantic smash burger was $9.99 with fries.
Where was it?
On 34th Avenue and like 24th Street in Astoria. It's called Puncho's, H-U-N-C-H-O. They were super nice in there too. Like, I told them I saw them on TikTok, and they're like, "Oh, awesome! Like, here, try some of this like sauce and stuff." The guy like shook my hand, like, "Thanks for coming." They're like, you know, Habibi.
I only have 5 stars.
I know, they're so insane.
Ooh, they're
Like-
open till 1 in the morning. That is
It was unreal. It was unreal. They were getting orders like constantly.
Dude,
walk
these pictures
in.
are insane.
I know. I'll put in the chat what I got. It was fucking crazy.
There's a crazy chicken platter thing they have.
I'm so full. I'm gonna like throw up. But it was honestly like
They do delivery too.
yeah. I was looking forward to it all week. I was like, I'm gonna go there on Thursday. Save my
I can
calories.
get there before they close.
Well, your
So,
market for the
wait,
next
why don't
one.
we? It's about a 20-minute walk from your house, actually. Do you want to try to get it on Sunday?
Sure.
Go down.
You'd have to walk
Come
away.
on, fuck. Sorry, man. I'm getting so tilted. This game fucking, it really it's testing me. It's testing me right now. I'm failing the test. Whatever the test is, I'm not doing well. God, oh my god, I'm resetting again. Stupid cars at the end. I need that to go right so I have low health. Otherwise, like, Vile has to like punch me like 5 times in a row. Waste so much time. It's a tough one for sure.
There, I put in chat what I got. It was so crazy good. Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, it looks delicious. I like the second picture. What's
Yeah,
the green
so-
sauce? Is that like a weird ale?
I don't know.
Chili sauce.
Something Middle Eastern, I guess. But that Huncho attack was like, yeah, it was like burger, mozzarella sticks, bacon, fries, and
You ate
sauce
that?
on a hero. Not the whole thing. I ate half of it because it was so huge. I'm not a monster. I barely touched the other stuff too because it was. I mean, I was so full. I'm still full.
Just trying to find the menu.
I think it's probably on like Uber Eats or whatever. And very, very cheap. I have a feeling it won't last that long. As in, like, it won't. The prices won't last that long because it's just, how can it?
I was about to say enjoy that because it's about to
It's
blow
too good
up
to
and
be true.
completely change.
I know. I think it's already starting to blow up because everyone I tell about it, and like Joel, obviously, yeah.
Smash patty and fries. That was delicious. The shredded steak platter. Oh my god. They had fish?
Yeah, so they have, that's the other thing, they have seafood also, like fried fish, fried shrimp, and like,
You said the Huncho attack, right?
yes.
So it's a sandwich, a crispy chicken or beef. You get fries, ring, coleslaw, cheese fries.
Ring beef.
Don't tell me the sauce is.
Yeah. Well, I'll send the thing to the chat that Joel sent me, which made me want to go.
Totally down for like it's like twice as much.
There, check it out on Instagram. I think I sent it to you.
Instagram. Oh yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, I do hate these answers.
Want to fill a chest with a freezer with takeout? Chest freezer with takeout. Huh. It sounds good on paper, but takeout never tastes that good the next day.
Maybe it's got Huncho sauce.
Mm.
It looks really good.
I know, it is.
Huncho attack is 3 smash burger. Oh my god,
I think
this
you-
sandwich is disgusting.
I think you have to be, yeah, you have to be strategic with takeout.
Fish and shrimp. I'm gonna get the fish. It looks really good. Hey, yo, people are like, yo, I know at least 4 halal carts that are there with this. No halal cart's gonna serve me this food. Sorry.
No, okay. Sidetrack. Oh, takeout. Yeah, sometimes it can be strategic. It's like I saw a funny post one time that was like, you know, I could buy a bunch of ingredients and make a shitty like pad thai, or I could just pay $10 and get pad thai for me.
Yeah.
I think similarly for like Indian food, like, well, maybe that's not fair. Like, you can make tikka masala at home and stuff, but sometimes it's like, am I in the mood to like cook for a really long time?
You're
Versus,
paying for
like-
the convenience of not having to buy each ingredient, and you don't have to clean up when you're done.
Yeah, like this halal place, I ordered 3 things on the menu. It was only $34, which is like one dinner with one plate is $40 usually here. But I have all that food now for like probably 4 days.
Sick.
So, yeah. So being strategic. It was a long ass walk though, but yeah, I'd be down to get it again. It's so good. Take out.
Why am I running
Register.
into stuff?
You register with a business tax ID and you can get corporate catering. My company has corporate catering because we have like an internal dining services, obviously. The amount of food waste is just like catastrophic.
Ghost kitchens. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, there's so many. I've seen people like kind of flag them here. Just like one crappy restaurant has like a million different versions of their menu. Ghost kitchen. I do like the term ghost kitchen. It sounds kind of cool. Yeah, the guy who was working there was super nice too. Like that, like another layer of like what makes it 5 stars for sure. Ghost pepper.
Terrible. In the corner of the state, there's almost no in-person dining, but there are huge kitchens that only do online orders. Yeah, sounds exactly like what you were saying. Now, is that just so like they don't have to pay to actually maintain a place?
I think it's that they like double or triple dip, so that people who think like they don't want to order from one place will see the same menu items and order it somewhere else. And there may also be other like tax reasons and delivery anomaly reasons. That was my understanding.
Right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Missing dash jumps. There are a lot of factories and a few school campuses here. Do you live in Silent Hill? Raccoon City?
Oh god, places I would not want to live. Did we lose Alan?
No, I'm still here.
Oh. No.
Wow, a not terrible boomer stage.
Sweet.
Not far off from Silent
Okay,
Hill.
boomer.
Old world architecture. I can't believe I fell for that. Utterly wrecked. I went in there with almost full health, bro.
Oh no.
That just happens. Like he will like teleport so quickly. There's no way you can react sometimes if he's like on top
Yeah.
of you.
Yeah.
You can't. I haven't been able to.
Yeah.
It's so fast. Cannot
Yeah.
react. He teleports so quickly.
Yeah, he really does.
You might think like the strategy is just to keep moving, right? But it doesn't stop him from teleporting right on top of the same position where you're standing.
Yeah. He's such a jerk.
There is that like stun lock thing where you can do where he like rushes at you,
Yeah.
but it's not even guaranteed and he can like break out of that whenever he wants.
Mm.
He can just decide to stop doing that.
Right.
One shot. It's always one bullet left. One lemon off. Yeah, when I'm killing the blue guys, I'm always like just one lemon short. Wait, there's work tomorrow too? The fuck?
This is Friday. Although it doesn't feel like a Friday. It doesn't feel like a Thursday. So I'm just
Yeah.
weird. Work day. Exactly have like a
Yuck. Oh, how did your thing go that you were dreading?
Which
on
one?
Wednesday?
Oh, the trial I won.
So, oh, that's good.
Alexa, turn
Nice.
on bedroom room. Hey Google, set an alarm for 6 a.m.
So they're never gonna see their kids now, right?
Yeah. I basically told the Kamala Harris.
Oh god.
Send the kids to live with their drug addict mother.
No, send the kids to jail right away.
Oh, they're going to jail too.
Send everyone to jail.
I mean, because realistically, the parent.
Well, yeah, the kid is definitely going to follow in the same footsteps. So let's just cut to the chase, right? Get the kids in jail now instead of waiting. We can also put prisoners to work, you know, for a fraction of the price.
I drank like 5 beers tonight.
Oh my
Sweet.
god. There's so much drinking.
It was like 2 of the grapefruit. I had 1 Blue Moon and 2 ciders.
Does he work for the district attorney? Yeah, he reports under Harvey Dent.
Yes.
At least I wish I was
Harvey dented.
and I'm technically an anti-vaxxer.
Okay.
As you're watching that episode 2, do you remember how it ends, Steven?
I do.
Where he tells his girlfriend that he's going to go back to work, and she's just insane.
I recall. Deborah Messing.
Who I think is also Jewish.
I can
That's
see
all
it.
it-
Or the streamers end up finding lightly involved with law enforcement. Fortunately
Alan
for
is
us
not
all.
involved.
Fortunately for us
No.
all, Alan is not involved with criminal law. That would be
No.
very...
well,
We'd all be in
to
big
be-
trouble.
To be fair, kind of.
No, we're not talking about the same thing.
Are you talking about like being a prosecutor? No. It was my dream job, but I mean, I make more money like now, so I wouldn't want to be. Follow the money, you'll be happier. I don't know. If young kids ever tell me like what they should like think about when they want to pick a career and stuff, just make money. Everything else will follow. Just not money. Nothing else matters.
Watt asked if you do social work.
I mean, I said to make money. Oh, fuck. I have a concert tonight, I just realized that.
I guess you're not attending.
I am attending, but whoops. Fuck.
Tomorrow night, you said?
No, tonight.
Yeah, obviously.
What's my mind? Oh yeah, it's Friday. Whatever Friday night is. Give me a buck.
Tomorrow is Friday, in my opinion.
Oh, you meant tomorrow?
Yeah, he.
After midnight. So,
Alan, we
Friday.
refer to.
Why does this
What?
happen all the time?
What? It's technically Friday, so tonight.
That's so confusing. Tonight means that you missed.
Tonight means right now. We're in the night. It's nighttime right now.
We are in the shit.
Tonight means today, tonight. Today,
Tonight,
tonight
tonight, the
means the
rest of
current day. If today means the day we're currently in, and tonight is the night we're currently in, why the fuck would
Does
you say
still
that?
Count?
No!
If it's after midnight?
No one says that.
Literally nobody says that.
Like no one would say.
I've never met
"Oh, I
anyone
gotta
who
talk to
considers
next-"
tonight to be the following night.
It's the same bizarre thing, turn of phrase as like, oh, like I'll see you guys next weekend. No, I mean this weekend I'll see you. Next weekend is the following weekend. Like, why do we say that?
Well,
It's very confusing.
I will be my own special person.
Oh god. Yeah, you said you had a concert tonight. I'm like, well, I guess you can't make it.
I guess you missed it, yeah.
It's fine. But yeah, I gotta.
Oh, 12 a.m. is the morning? Get the fuck out of here.
A wee hours.
Yeah, it
So
was
then
early in the
so
morning at
what-
12 a.m.
A 3
So
a.m.
what?
concert.
I mean, yeah, it is early. Some people do classify that as early in the morning, including news reports. So, like, what do you consider morning cutoff then?
The news report will say midnight is morning.
Early morning. 2 a.m. Is considered early morning.
No, we're talking about midnight. That's what's in question right now.
Well, maybe
I
I
know.
won't
Okay,
say
so then like let's go away from midnight. Let's put like 12:45 a.m. Like
That is definitely nighttime.
In my
That is
personal
closer to
opinion,
nighttime.
as well as the opinions of other experts in the field. U.S. Americans can't locate the U.S. on a map because of the Iraq and Afghanistan and South Africa.
Shut up,
You know what
dude.
I'm referring
Fucking
to?
Miss Universe.
what the fuck is he
No, I
talking
was gonna
about?
say
Miss Universe pageant.
morning. I think of morning as like 4 a.m. onwards. Once it's like that blistering, horrible hour
You
where
mean when the
have to wake
sun
up
comes
early.
up?
Yeah, and it's something to do with the sun. I still see like 3 a.m. as like night, where I'm like, oh, it's 3, I should go to bed. But like 4 starts to be like, fuck, I stayed up too late to the next
But
day.
how is it morning if like there's no sun out? It's just pitch black. That's not really morning.
We need to reinvent these rules.
I'm mad about it, to be honest. Like, it's pitch black. It's the middle of the night, meaning the hours between
Morning.
the daylight and of either day.
According
It's because
to
of black
this.
farmers. Black farmers.
Black
According-
farmers.
Okay, when you look up what defines morning, morning is the time of day from sunrise to noon and from midnight to noon.
Sunrise. You see?
Or from midnight to noon.
Black farmers.
Wait,
What
from
about
midnight
black
to
farmers?
noon.
The morning is the time of day from sunrise to noon or from midnight to noon. It is the first part of the day and is preceded by dawn.
Dawn. Dawn.
Dawn dish soap.
Dawn.
You can argue with Merriam-Webster's dictionary.
I will. I'm gonna call his ass.
Isn't Miriam a woman?
Yeah, but no,
Whatever.
even Oxford,
Anything
Oxford supposedly it's a period of time between midnight and noon. Whatever. You can fight with them.
Language is imprecise.
I mean, considering what we're dealing with nowadays, language.
Skibbity.
What about
That's
dawn
like-
of the first day? Or dawn of the third day?
I mean that's a shitty game.
So shitty.
Didn't you recently say during cringe that
No, he said the
Majora's Mask
opposite.
is You
No,
said
he-
the opposite. You
yeah,
said
he's-
Majora's Mask is the better game.
No, he said Ocarina of Time
Nah.
is better.
Yeah, I would
Is that-
never say that.
I thought you said Majora's Mask.
No, he said the
You need to
opposite.
consult the archive.
Yeah, I've watched the clip a few times.
You bask in the cream Vino stuff.
I haven't rewatched that at all. I don't know. I can't.
You lived it once, you can't bear to see it again.
Yeah.
It was traumatic enough for him.
I will look at it to like look at audio levels. Let's see if like micas and stuff like that. But like as far as like watching it for leisure.
I don't think anybody watches our streams for leisure.
I do.
You sure?
I mean,
no,
like
you
past.
watch it-
I mean,
you
like
watch
VODs.
You watch it as fapping material, Stephen.
I was gonna say. Crank out a dry one for that.
Oh god. Where does that term even come from?
I don't know.
Like, how is it dry? Is that just mean when you can't ejaculate?
It's dry because you really have to work hard to get anything out.
Hard, no lube.
I hope my brother's not listening.
I think he's gone.
Does he have a virgin mind?
I know I'm a corrupt.
Corrupt him. He's all grown up. It's time he learned these things.
You've already corrupted Angelo. You might why stop there?
You've taught me a
Miriam
lot
is
of.
man's
Oh,
name, namely Butch Miriam. What, Andrew? Sorry.
sorry, one sec.
Yeah,
I could have swore you just called him Andros for something.
Andrew.
Andros. He's trying to take over the Lilat system.
God. What an afterthought in Star Fox Adventures. Alan, have you played Star Fox Adventures?
Briefly. They own it now.
Why couldn't I use my blaster?
Oh God. Oh,
Oh
God.
boy.
So bad.
Right, we gotta get to Krazoic Palace.
God, of course not want power.
My favorite part of the game is the first few seconds where you hear the dinosaur language spoken by Crystal.
Right, and then they never go back to it again.
Right, of course.
Dinosaur language. What was the story? There was like it was like something about like it being an afterthought, or like they invented this entire language and couldn't even like really, they didn't use it consistently. Something
Well,
like that.
well, yeah, they actually. It's not like gibberish. They really like had somebody craft a language
Yes.
that would make
Yeah,
sense. But yeah, when I guess the final cuts of the game, they realized they don't want it to be that prominent.
Mm,
Is my guess.
yeah, because it sounds really interesting.
Seems like a last
well.
minute change.
It's a coincidence. It's that N64 Snap Instagram account has Dinosaur Planet screenshot.
Wow, there's a coincidence.
Yeah. Coincidental.
The Prince Tricky.
Tricky. Nice name.
But we gotta get you home. My dad's a King Earthwalker, and he'll bash you up.
The dad like doesn't even really say anything.
He doesn't do anything. You don't even meet him until like the end of the game, practically.
The end, yeah, and then you don't even really hear it. It's, oh my god.
Peppy comes in. You must return it to the Volcano Force Point Temple.
Oh fucking Force Point Temple. Ugh. Horrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
Horrible.
Horribly gummy bears.
Perfect, bro. You just get hit like 5 times, bro. Yes, that's what I want.
Easy.
Star Fox Adventures is a good game. Sorry.
I like it.
You know they hated Jesus for telling the truth.
That Star Fox Adventures. He said to everyone that Star Fox Adventures was actually a good game.
Some priest was like, Star Fox Adventure is mid. And Jesus thought that was blasphemy. You couldn't just let him.
So,
Sleep sucks. You guys are too elitist. My takes on Star Wars are not snobby enough. Yeah, we'll know you're one of us when you hate every single Star Wars product. Some of these like early Alan, didn't you share some like really early like 80s like Star Wars play thing?
yeah.
Like the 70s shows. Yeah,
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
I forget. I looked
That
up.
was so cancerous.
It was 70s campy TV.
Was Star Wars
like
ever good? Maybe it was all bad from the start. You guys are not ready to have that conversation.
No. Hannah Montana. There's photos of Hannah on my phone. What is happening?
A New Hope was boring. You know what?
That
You know what was a better
is
movie?
So fucking terrible. That's a terrible take. Funny. A New Hope. I guess if see, I try to listen to all.
Yeah, let's be
Point of
impartial
view.
here.
Impartially, I think there's definitely peaks and valleys. Like there's definitely moments that are like.
That's a safe
quiet.
way to put it.
Well, there's moments that are like deliberately slower, quieter. It's like it gives the movie time to breathe, which is needed in a movie that has these like massive like action sequences, like you know, the escape from Mos Eisley, and then the infiltration of the Death Star like end where like Obi-Wan gets killed, and then there's another kind of lull where they process that, and then you know the end climax. It's like it's a lot of peaks and valleys. Imagine if that movie was just non-stop action. That would be exhausting.
If it was a modern film, probably would be closer to that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
what about another sensible take, which is Harry Potter is a much better fantasy series than Lord of the Rings.
Wow.
I see that
mean,
sentiment all the time. It's not super uncommon.
I feel like Harry Potter is more relatable because it's not high fantasy. It's like more like
It's
approachable.
high school fantasy.
High school fantasy. Less so high
And-
school.
And it was so. I don't know, man. You have you have the entire generation of adults who grew up with that, like when they were in elementary school entering high school. Like, Deathly Hallows came out in my senior year of high school.
Because it's
you know?
made, it's for kids. to some degree. I mean, it gets more adult
Right.
themed as it goes, but like it has like massive appeal. Whereas Lord of the Rings, like, was that always just supposed to be an adult novel?
Pretty
Has to
much,
have
yeah.
been, right? Yeah, yeah.
Kinda Tolkien was just like, let me make a fantasy novel for like a lot of just
Teenage high school movie.
I think that Harry Potter and many other things would not exist without Lord of the Rings, or would, you know, I don't know. Maybe that's not fair to say, but I think the lore of Harry Potter isn't really deep. It's like whimsical, but it's not like, you know, enduring themes of war and whatever else.
Yeah, I would agree with that take.
Yeah, I mean, I like Harry Potter. I'm not obsessed with it.
It's a much less serious work than
Oh,
Lord of the
for
Rings.
sure.
It can be serious, but Lord of the Rings is pretty much never like lighthearted in that way.
Yeah.
And there's
not
very
eating,
few-
like,
dire or something.
And
not
there's
eating earwax flavored jelly beans.
there's no children really as like characters.
Right. Well, the entire book is like the series is a struggle from beginning to end, whereas Harry Potter has like, you know, one arching villain in a book, and then things quiet down. The kids have like a nice serenity time for a bit, and something else happens, you know.
The early books are very honestly, like, it captures the mind of children so well. Was so good at that. Like, everyone loves to shit on her now because her takes are really stupid and like really steadfast in them. But those books like just capture the mind of children and like. Oh, are you talking about? Yeah.
No, I'm counting.
Oh. That makes more sense that you're counting the hits.
Sorry, I
yeah,
just
like,
had to count.
No, okay. Yeah, she just, I don't know, like the things, the jokes that she makes, like the frustration that kids feel when they're like not being taken seriously, like all of that is like really resonates
Yeah.
with me when I was a kid.
Popcorn
Lord of the Rings.
merchandise movie. Oh man, that's gonna get you a lot of hatred. Not for me, because I never really cared about Harry Potter, but man, Harry Potter fans really don't like it when you criticize it.
So, I don't think her intention was to just make like popcorn. I think she probably felt like, I don't know, she had like an idea. I don't really know much about like the inception of Harry Potter. I know that she like wrote it. It is derivative of a lot of other books too, like a lot. But I don't know. It's kind of like the perfect amalgam. They're remaking.
Also, it's very different whether we're talking about the books versus the movies.
Oh yeah, exactly that too.
I feel like we should make that distinction because these are very different works.
The movies are very popcorny, like even more so. But yeah, Harry Potter's not that deep. It really isn't. It isn't. Anyone who tries to say that it's deep, like, it's not even. It's like Voldemort is just like a mustache twirling villain. Like his motivation is like doesn't even really make a lot of sense. It's like racially motivated, kind of. It's just really silly.
It's
not
got
like
almost zero cultural insight. Damn.
Yeah, that's true.
I've
That's
never
true.
never seen a lot of the movies.
The fact that Harry Potter, like, I think recently, you know, J.K. Rowling in her insane tweets said that, like, the character of Hermione could be a black girl, I think speaks to that notion that, like, the characters are really interchangeable. They have they're, other than, like, the plot backstories of these characters, you can just swap them out. They have no real, like, depth, I guess. That's fair to say. Like, Harry Potter is just like very Mary Sue-ish, and the other characters are very just stock, kind of. I don't know. I mean, I like this is me. I like it, but I don't know. Books are a light, fun story with, what did it say? Cool visual elements. Yeah, it's true. That's a really bad take if someone were to say that like Harry Potter is like deeper and has a richer lore or anything compared to Lord of the Rings. Like, that's just so crazy.
I know that definitely exists though. People do have that sentiment. It's because, like Alan pointed out, like it's nostalgia. They didn't grow up.
Yeah.
They grew up with their thing, so that's what they hold in high regard. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I feel like there is something wrong with that though. It's like not acknowledging. That's like saying that
I know.
like. Yeah, I mean, I understand why.
I'm not saying I agree with it or it's rational. I'm just saying I understand the idea that like you're gonna think something is great because you have a lot of fond memories of it,
Totally.
and
I
you're
just think,
willing.
yeah,
You're
like,
very willing to overlook flaws when you know that you just like this as a kid.
yeah.
Right,
I
it's
think
like when we watched Dragon Ball Z. There's so many
Right.
things
Right, when we were
Sure.
watching that the other day, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I was thinking. I mean, we just have different sensibilities now.
I just think like I don't like people who can't see that that's how they are. Like I acknowledge that I like shitty things because they're nostalgic. Like I think you have to see it from that perspective. The people who are annoying are the ones that are just like Harry Potter's great, it's great, and like won't accept counterpoint to that. That's where I think it's like annoying. I think nostalgia is good, but it's also like, you got to be aware of it.
Yeah, of
Harness
course.
it. Sometimes, I thought about it a lot too, like, with franchises that have disappointed me in recent iterations. I try to think like, well, is what I like, is it not fair for me to like open my mind to these new iterations? And the answer is, no, I'm right.
Everyone else is wrong. Nah.
Well, I think it like starts right.
Well, as long as you're thinking about it as deeply as you can and really come to
Yeah.
that conclusion, it is what it is.
Well, I mean, if we were solely juxtaposing it against Lord of the Rings for the period of the films, yeah, maybe there's a reach you could make. Lord of the Rings makes some philosophical commentary on human nature. It sometimes points out concepts of the changing of generational regimes and geopolitical impact of the balance of power among warring groups. Lord of the Rings is very deep with its undertone. Yeah, totally.
Agreed.
Harry Potter's like good versus evil. Even Star Wars isn't really that deep. It's not making commentary like that deep. I mean, I guess it is a little bit more commentary about like Nazism, kind of, or like just tyranny or
Fascism in any form. It's really like
Yeah,
not a specific thing like Nazi Germany. It's just specifically a totalitarian world.
yeah. Yeah, with like fantasy elements like knights and magic, basically.
Lord of the Rings
Yeah,
is
like
about good and
samurai.
evil too.
Yeah.
And that's what the simplicity allows room to really go into other deeper things between characters.
It has a lot of power is corrupting
Yes.
theme going. Like obviously the whole ring itself, just people get twisted by it.
Yeah, it's a huge metaphor for anyone who just suddenly comes into a lot of power, initially wants to use it for the right reasons, but completely loses the plot once they actually get it.
Right. And of course, Lord of the Rings is a reference to, an even older, like Norse mythology about
Magic rings and old stories revolving around that because it's supposed to be a mythos for, the English, basically.
Right.
He wanted there to be a mythology that could be you know, British in nature.
Yeah.
There's also, of course, the allegory. There's like a ring allegory from some old Greek philosopher. I think it was Plato. There was some story where he he told some story about like a magic ring that turned you invisible. But yeah, these concepts have always existed.
Yeah. Yeah.
You could argue that Sauron and Mordor and all the orcs and stuff, they're unequivocally evil, so like it's kind of like the mustache twirling villain that just wants destruction for the sake of it. They don't really go into like why is Sauron so evil. It doesn't really matter in the story.
Yeah.
It just he's just supposed to be the ultimate representation of someone who craves like power above anything else. And mainly craves power for the control it offers rather than using that power for something else. It's a tool to control people. Have them do your will. 100% derivative and still manages to avoid directly incorporating the real references to mythology. Yeah, I'm not sure J.K. Rowling was really thinking about mythology much. I think it was just supposed to be a simple, like, fun children's story set in this school, because all kids know is school, so you have to have a story that kind of reflects what they go through every day. Meeting people, you know, interpersonal conflicts with students, trying to figure out what kind of person you want to be, all that stuff. That's much, yeah.
Like themes of Lord of the Rings, like complex interlaced narrative, reversed quest, struggle of good and evil, death and immortality, fate, free will, addictive danger of power, various aspects of Christianity, like presence of three Christ figures, prophet, priest, and king, elements like hope and redemptive suffering, language, sound, relationships with people and places,
yeah, like there's
descriptions of weather.
Yeah. Geopolitics. There's so much of the story that just involves trying to unite people from different cultures and places, you know, for a common goal. But seeing how difficult that can be throughout the story is that there's obviously only one evil faction, and they're so obviously evil, and yet people are not really uniting against it. There's all this squabbling that happens. Kind of like Game of Thrones, like there's all this squabbling between the families when there's like the very real threat that is gonna kill everyone.
Yeah, Game of Thrones too is another, like, you know, derivative of other things, but yet it's like entertaining in its own right. But so what about, like, is Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings like deeper? I mean, it's probably still Lord of the Rings, but, and I like Game of Thrones. I'm not, I like, Lord of the Rings is okay, I've never really got super into it. Just, I don't know, I just haven't really immersed myself maybe too much, but oh my god, dude, my phone. Oh my god, that health clutch health pickup.
It's not gonna be enough. I'm gonna die probably.
Yeah. I think Game of Thrones is a little bit all over the place with its themes. I think there's like some overarching themes, but I think it's also really all over the place. I think it has a strong theme of like.
Knew it.
Oh, fuck.
I've heard somebody describe Game of Thrones as The Sopranos meets Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
because
I
the
guess
the,
in
the
that-
interpersonal family drama is like the primary part of the plot.
Right. I think they're sort of uniting themes are like social outcasts and misfits with outsiders' perspectives are oftentimes like the more like balanced, well-adjusted because they're the outsiders. I think like all the outsider characters are the ones that you kind of root for because they're like the kindest, most normal people.
Yeah, I really enjoyed like seeing this culture around like the bastards. Like they all have a name that describes, where they're from, but they're like not allowed to be affiliated with their father.
Yeah.
Like Jon Snow's character is everyone's favorite, and just the idea that he lives in the castle with them, but like he's
Right.
not afforded the name of the family. Like that carries so much in and of itself. Like imagine
Yeah.
growing up that way, not being considered part of the family like that.
And Catelyn hates him because
Right. She thinks that's Ned's
yeah.
bastard when it's not.
Right. Yeah. But it never really gets too into like I don't know, maybe it does, I just don't remember. Like the whole there's commentary on like nobility and stuff and like the highborn versus the lowborn, but it doesn't get into it too much. But again, that's maybe for the best because I don't need another fucking eat the rich kind of thing going on.
Well, yeah, I really enjoyed rewatching scenes with Peter Dinklage as Tyrion.
Yes.
I think he's got to be the most interesting character in the whole show, and his scenes are usually so incredible, especially
In the
ones where
books,
he's
too.
especially ones where he's bouncing off Charles Dance as Tywin.
Yes, his father. Oh.
They have such a brilliant relationship. His father like hates him, but deep inside he knows like this son is like the most Lannister out of all of them. He's the smartest. He's like the most sharp-witted, and it's like kind of a curse, right? Like he was hoping for his strongest, most valiant son to have these qualities, and he doesn't.
Right. I know
He wants to hate him so badly, but he can't.
Right. It goes both ways too. Like he wants his father's affection and attention and all of that, but never gets it.
Never really gets it, and Tywin always uses that as a bargaining chip. You can see scenes where like he actually seems to start warming up to Tyrion or giving them important tasks, respecting his, decisions. But it's just like a way to like trick Tyrion into getting something done. And the moment that's over, he brings up the fact, oh, you killed your mother. It's just like he uses that so much as like this bargaining chip, like using affection as a bargaining chip, which is a real thing that some shitty parents do. Like they'll only like you under certain circumstances
Right.
to get you on their side.
Lest we forget, he has to kill his father, and I know in the book too, like he feels guilt over it. Not like
Of
a
course,
clean-
well, he's having sex with the woman, the prostitute that he was like
Yes.
falling for.
Yes.
Imagine how like much that would like break a person.
Yeah.
It's like so the whole show is just so full of betrayal. It's like really hard to deal with. So much
Yeah.
family betrayal, like people who are your kin backstabbing you, killing you. There's so much like patricide and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean it's a lot. Like I like how Tyrion has to like he's betrothed to Sansa.
Yeah.
And instead of being a monster to her, he's just like she sees that he's like actually decent, and they're in it together. Like they're both forced into this situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good. Those are the character stuff is really good. It is all over the place because the characters are all like very different and
Yeah.
going through their different things. But so it's hard to say like what are the uniting themes. But like I said, I think like
the theme of being an outsider and having to conform is a big prevalent theme, but it's relatable to a lot of us.
Yeah, I was watching a lot of like best scenes of Game of Thrones, and it's mainly like stuff in the earlier seasons where
Of course, because it's taken from the book verbatim.
two characters just sitting down and having like a monologue, like Peter Baelish and Varys having that chaos
Yeah.
as a ladder conversation.
Yes, came right from the book.
Yeah,
That's the
and
other thing. The
yeah,
book dialogue is
the
so
books.
good, and when you can quote it as it's happening, because you're like, "Oh, that's from the book."
Yeah.
It's so good. The dialogue is really good.
It's really good. I mean, they're just oh, that's at its best, man. It's so
We
good.
have beginning and ending. Ever.
Of the book. Waz is agreeing with what we're saying, by the way. He says great emotional content in the writing. Game of Thrones is strong with the amount of meat and the character struggle. Totally. Like, that's where it all is. And that's where, of course, it goes off the rails when they have no material left to draw upon. They make
Rings
it up.
of Power season 2 dropped already?
Can't wait to watch. Blob it.
I cannot believe that show got a second season.
They invested too much money in it. They're not just gonna cancel it. They're gonna do a
Right.
minimum like 4 or 5 seasons.
Just to pretend that they're getting their money's worth.
Right. They're gonna make it with or without the audience.
Waz says a character-driven epic drama of Game of Thrones. Totally. Just stop watching after season 4, or maybe midway, whatever.
Just watch only when there's titties on screen. That's it. I don't know. I enjoyed the first half of season 1. And also, Battle of the Bastards was good. Like there were good things about the latter season.
Yeah, but it's just there's no more like good dialogue. There's no more like rich substance to it. It's just all over. It's a mad dash to a finish.
Right, they rushed it, as we all know. I'm gonna start rewatching it soon because I've been seeing so many clips. I'm like, damn, the first seasons are so good,
They're
and
fucking incredible.
now that you know all the twists and turns, like, I think a rewatch would be really fun.
the very first episode ends with Jamie kicking Bran out of the window, and he like presumably falling to his death.
Yeah,
Which is just the craziest fucking cliffhanger.
It's so
for a first
insane.
episode. Holy shit! Like, it's
things we
wild.
do for love.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when I started watching the show, I was so overwhelmed because there's so many characters.
Right.
It was kind of lost on me a little bit because I didn't know. Like, I knew that Jamie and Cersei were related, but I didn't quite get what the circumstances were.
Yeah.
So I want to just rewatch it and
You should read the
knowing
book.
where everyone is.
Read the book. That like I could once. So I think I saw some of the show and I was like, I think maybe I watched season 1. I was like, I love this, and so I got the book and I read it so fast, and I was like, I must read all of them. And so then I read and got like way
Wow.
past where the show was, to the point where I was just like, oh, the show is starting to go off the rails. But the books are like really worth it. They're all still good. That's why it hurts that the
I know, but the fact that I know it's not gonna end.
yeah.
That
Too busy
bastard
writing.
hasn't finished the
Felt it.
books. I don't want to start something when I know there's just no ending.
Yeah, Watt says that's why the books are solid. Totally. The books are great, and there's even more characters. There's even more like
Yeah.
things going on, which is cool. I like keeping track of stuff like that mentally. It's really
Season 2, they managed to juggle like so many different plot threads at the same time, and it was so fun just jumping around to a different part of the continent and just see what's going on with these people.
good. Right. I remember too, before I had even watched the show or heard of it or the books, there was just what a cultural phenomenon the Red Wedding was. Like just dispensing with a giant swath of-
2011.
Yeah,
That was
just
like
dispensing
Jesus.
with a huge swath of main characters is like unheard of.
Yeah.
And even Ned in the end of the first season, or end of the first book, it's such a trope. Like, oh, he'll be spared at the end, and it's like, no, he unexpectedly gets beheaded. It's just the main character,
Yeah.
arguably.
The main character, and the scene is set up in such a way where you really think they're gonna let him
book-
go.
The book too, because it's the expectation. Because I think they say at the last minute, like, oh, send him. Cersei says, like, send him to the wall, basically,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, okay, like, yeah, and then like Joffrey just
Out of
like, executes
nowhere,
it. Out of
he's
nowhere,
like,
'cause he's a
"Bring me
little
his head."
fuck. He's a fucker.
And they're all like, no, wait.
Wait. All the characters are like, no, it's gonna fuck everything up. And it does. Oh, man. That's
Yeah,
so
I mean,
You actually get to see Ned Stark's fucking head too.
Yeah. Arya sees it. She's there.
he's there, yeah.
They all see it.
Yeah, it's like, wow, they actually showed the head.
Yeah. And then the mad dash, like, she has to get out of the Red
Right.
Keep, or King's Landing. And then her story goes. It's just,
She
oh
gets
my God.
picked up by the Lannister soldiers for a while, and then she's like, for a very long period, she's Tywin's cupbearer servant.
Yeah. Yep, and he knows she's like highborn. That scene we saw the other day.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, again, Charles Dance, like, probably the best actor
He's
there.
So good. Yeah.
He's like playing this game with her. He's like, he knows she's hiding something, but like, he just wants to like see how it plays
Yeah,
out.
she's well educated and stuff.
He's like, oh, a stonemason that can read, and your father could read too.
Yeah. Just stares at her like laser eyes. I think
I
that
don't know if he would kill her, honestly. I've rewatched that scene a million times. I'm like, if he knew who she
It's-
was, would he actually kill her?
she become a bargain. She becomes some sort of political.
Right. I mean, there's no way he would just let her go, knowing if he knew that was Arya Stark. There's no way.
I think they describe him. Charles Dance is excellent casting because in the book too, I think they describe him as having like a really icy like stare.
Yeah, he is just like his first scene is where he's skinning this deer, this stag,
Oh, in the camp?
and he's like
Yeah.
dressing it while Jamie's talking to him. He did that for
Talks about, like, his
real.
family.
He actually was like skinning this animal for real while doing this monologue with Jamie.
It's so good.
What the fuck? He like learned how to do it for that scene.
All of
That's
the
a dead
casting is really good.
animal on the table.
The casting
Yeah.
of the show is excellent. Like they're all really good. And Lena Headey too is nothing like that in real life. She's like the most hateable
I know.
fucking bitch of all time. But she's so nice in real life. You know, it's just like a normal person. That's the best. I like that.
Guys,
Very-
it's 1 o'clock and I gotta get up.
All right, man. Call it a day.
I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Have a good night.
You too. Ugh. I'm just
Yeah.
going by.
I'm so impressed by the acting in the first couple of seasons. Everybody,
Yeah. Sean Bean, of course.
even Jamie Lannister's actor, like so good
Yeah,
too.
he is. And what's so great about the books and the show, to a same degree, characters that you wind up despising, when you start reading chapters from their perspective, you start empathizing with like why they are the way they are.
Yeah.
So like the first few books, Cersei is just like this evil bitch. But then in the later books, when it starts to like go into her perspective, you get sympathy for her, and that's when the whole like she does the battle with, or she's in like this position where the whatever it is, the church basically is like coming after her, the whole like
Mhm.
walk of shame and stuff, and all of that, and like why she feels the way she does about Jamie and them against the world kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, she had a great scene with Robert Baratheon
Yeah.
where they're having food and she's just like asking him like, was there anything between us ever? And they're just both acknowledging that they never wanted to marry each other.
Right, right.
And it's just so heartbreaking. And it's just like, they're not even angry. They're just like, yeah, like, they're both sorry that it ended up the way they did.
And I think in the book, I don't know if they do this in the show. I think there's some moment where like he could have like been happy with him, but there was like something that he did. Either he like
He said Leanna's name
yeah
in bed
yeah,
while they were
that-
on their wedding night, where he's like,
Right.
you know, having sex with her, and he's actively like thinking about his
Yeah.
main love, who's
right,
dead.
right. Yeah.
and that just like destroyed Cersei forever.
Yes. Yeah. It's all these mistakes that these characters make, and I don't know. It's good. It's good. The normies, we've talked about this many times, but I remember at work when the finale was imminently dropping,
Yeah.
the normies in there like reading all of these fucking stupid blog or like publisher posts about like how the story will wrap up, and them just saying like being convinced of like the dumbest takes of all time. The normies. Oh god. So funny.
Remember there was that bar that would like record all of their patrons like watching the latest Game of Thrones.
Vaguely, maybe.
This was especially during the era where Oberyn was gonna fight the Mountain, and that shocking scene
Oh,
took
yeah.
place. There was this bar that would upload to YouTube, and they would record just a giant bar full of people, and they would like, people would watch the episode there at this bar, and have these like genuine reactions to seeing it for the first time.
Pedro Pascal, no.
Oh my god, what a great actor!
I know. Great casting again. What was I gonna say? Something. Point. No, we'll come back. Yeah.
I forgot there was a really great scene where Oberyn is talking to Tyrion, and that's like where he first tells him that he's gonna be his champion for the fight.
Right. Right.
I think Oberyn's describing the moment that Tyrion was born,
Yes.
and he's basically telling him, yeah, your sister like hoped that you wouldn't survive, or your parents like
Yeah.
hoped that you wouldn't survive because you were so monstrous to them.
Right.
And I don't know, just telling this story, like, it like made him want to fight for Tyrion, because he could see that, you know, he's just in this shitty family.
Yeah. Doesn't Tyrion cry over that or something?
Yeah,
There's something,
yeah, it's pretty
over
emotional.
that, too. Yeah.
They're telling him that, like, yeah, I know that your family never wanted you, and that you're hated by everyone.
Yeah. And then for that, again, a reversal, you think like, oh, like, you know, you're rooting for Tyrion, then this guy
Yeah.
is like this strong warrior is gonna defend him, and like good is gonna prevail, but then he just gets fucking
I know.
crushed. His head gets crushed, and it's just like so
It's
shocking.
it's such a shocking death.
Fuck. Oh man. So that is so crazy.
But how many times does that happen in movies where like somebody is just so overly cocky, you
Right.
know, and has the victory in the bag, but they instead of just delivering the final blow, they like drag it out because they want to make a big show.
Yeah. Wow,
That-
so
that
this-
does
that
happen.
People are not like that in real life. Yeah.
How many times in movies you see like the villain just have the main character in their grasp? They could just do the coup de grace right there, and they just don't.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. It's always like playing with your food.
Playing with your
The
food.
cat playing with your food. Yeah, and then James Bond can escape. Oh my god. Oh, I remember. What I want to say. It connects to our first topic of conversation. Is I remember like there was on Reddit there was like r/the free folk was created so that people could like put their opinions of how the show was starting to lose its way and get really terrible, because the main like subreddit for Game of Thrones fucking refused to acknowledge any criticism at all. So this like schism was created,
I remember Free Folk. I remember
Yeah.
that subreddit.
and it was like, picking apart why it's really terrible. The same thing happened for Star Wars. The same thing happened for Star Trek. It's there's not really anywhere that you could, speak openly. So yeah, it just reminds me of that. What we're saying.
Yeah.
The free folk. But no, actually, House of the Dragon is pretty good. I like it a lot. It's like well acted. It's exciting. It's pretty good. So at least there's a good Game of Thrones show again.
Yeah. It's funny, I was watching this video that was like breaking down everything we know about the Game of Thrones pilot. The lost pilot that apparently was so bad that it made them like reshoot the whole thing.
Wow.
So when our two moron writers started out,
Yeah.
they suddenly got what they wanted. The big studio came. They gave them all this money to make the pilot,
Yeah.
and what they ended up with was just like a bunch of people who had never done a big production before.
Mhm.
And the script called for like it was going to be very big budget,
Yeah.
They had to like shoot in Morocco for all the scenes with like Daenerys. They had to shoot all these different locations. Fucking Christ, man. All these costumes, all these sets. I mean, holy crap. The actors didn't really have a lot of direction. Nobody really knew what they were doing.
Mhm.
And a lot of the performances were really stilted. I don't know, it was just really bad. There's not much footage of it, if any.
Right.
And they had to recast like Catelyn Stark, Daenerys, and I think one other person was recast. So after that, they like showed it only to like some producer friends, and they were like, "What do you think?" And basically, the consensus was change everything. That's what they were
Yeah.
told. How do you fix this? How do you recover this mess? Fix everything.
Wow, I didn't know.
So they ended up taking very little footage from the original pilot. And there's some shots that were on digital because it's cheap.
Right.
So in Game of Thrones episode 1, you can still notice some shots are like slightly lesser quality,
Uh-huh.
and the actors are like a year younger. Some of the children are visibly younger in those like quick
Wow.
shots. It's very hard to notice, but their hair and their age is not quite the same because it was
Wow,
like
there-
a year off since they did the reshoots.
There are strange shots in the pilot, or in the first episode of Game of Thrones, like when
Yeah.
Robert's entourage arrives. There are some weird shots for sure.
Here's a funny anecdote. They mentioned how it was so unorganized and the script was so chaotic, and the director had like no experience.
Yeah.
When Robert Baratheon comes with his entourage to Winterfell, nobody bows.
Oh wow. Oh,
They like
no.
forgot to like include that. This is
Yeah.
like the king of the Seven Realms. When he like shows up, it would make sense for everyone to bow, and they don't in the pilot supposedly. And they had to, so when they reshot it, they included stuff like that, like everybody kneels, and it's like little details that make the world more believable, I guess.
Yeah.
It just the way they talked about it seemed like a horrible like stage production of Game of Thrones.
Right. Oh yeah, the recast. So, by the way, was interacting with our conversation. Is original
production,
HBO
yeah.
Game of Thrones from the '80s, but that's just a joke, right? I don't think Game of Thrones was from that. I thought Game of Thrones, the original book, was from the '90s. Major studios do a digital replacement broadcast and overall with the pilot, like they do that for reality shows. Sometimes I've heard for certain reality shows, like even Flavor of Love and stuff, they'll do a condensed season with actual people, but they'll film it over like 2 days and they cut it as if it's the real thing.
Yeah.
So it gets kind of the whole concept across without doing, a full series or anything like that. It's just so interesting. Oh yeah, but Tamsin Merchant originally as Daenerys Targaryen, Jennifer Ill as Catelyn Stark. Oh, wow. Yeah, what's her face? Michelle Fairley was good. Ian McNeice played Illyria Mopatis. Richard Ridings as Garrett? I don't know who that is. Jamie Campbell Bowers, playing my voice. Oh, I guess it's another thing. Wow. The North is shown to be more colorful. House Stark's sigil is different. That's so crazy.
I just couldn't believe like they didn't have everyone bow when the king came in.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Crazy.
So they like did a ton of reshoots, and I think it turned out pretty well.
Right. You know what's interesting too is oh, sorry, I was just distracted by reading more of this. Apparently, I don't know if this is true or not. Amanda Peet, the actress, is married to one of those show writer creator guys, and was like, "Don't do the show." Was like trying to convince him like it's not a good idea. It's not going to be successful.
Wow.
What a fucking fail. Apparently, that's the thing. Some different scenes in the on-air pilot. Opening credits different, obviously. Extensive opening showing the Poison John Aaron just desperately trying to, with his last outfit, trying to write a warning letter. Early design of White Walkers. With their language, Cersei burning the feather Robert left in Lyanna's tomb.
A lot of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Oh, and the test audiences also didn't really understand Jaime and Cersei's relationship in the pilot. Like, they didn't make it that clear that they were brother and sister, so the shock of them being, caught having sex is like not as, it's not impactful. Right. So in the actual show, the characters constantly mention like 3 or 4 times, that's Jaime Lannister, that's son of the king or whatever.
Right.
Or brother of Cersei Lannister.
Yeah. Huh. This is so interesting. Yeah, I love that. The pilot of Star Trek, like the 60s Star Trek, they later recut elements of it and made an episode from it. Probably as like some sort of a budget savings reason. They had all that footage and
yeah,
they were able to work it into a plot of an episode. It was very weird. Also, as an actor, can you imagine, like, you think you're like going to be on the show, you're cast, and then only to find out that like the show either never gets to production or your scenes have been completely cut.
I know that's rough. The character of Daenerys, obviously, that catapulted Emilia Clarke.
I know.
It would have done the same for the previous girl if she stayed.
Yeah. Amelia Clark stopped getting naked. She thought she was too good for it.
She was good looking.
Let's see what's got.
What's the movie where the chick is getting married, but she's caught screwing her brother, who's a Marine? I don't think that's Wedding Crashers. Nice, getting hit by a bat.
In Star Trek Voyager, so they the captain, who's the main character, arguably the main character, is played by Kate Mulgrew, who's excellent, like really good actor, like really strong. In the pilot, they filmed with this other woman, and basically, like, you know, I listened to a podcast of two of the guys who were main characters on the show, but I had heard this, you know, this is pretty well documented, that this other actor that they got to play the character, this woman, this French woman, was terrible. And basically all the other actors were like, she was a horrible fit from the beginning. Like, couldn't
Damn.
handle the scene, couldn't handle the dialogue, was not like a strong actor. So for them to suddenly pivot at the last second to get someone else in and reshoot all those scenes is just so crazy.
Yeah, sometimes like it really doesn't work out, and to save the project, I'll just like boot somebody.
Yeah, and the fact is that they got someone really good. So,
It worked out.
yeah. So interesting. Yeah, it looks like the director of the Game of Thrones pilot just was way in over his head. It just couldn't handle all the.
Yeah, according to his own words, I mean, he thought he was just like kind of tagging along, and he would just be taking orders about what to do, but then everybody was just expecting him to like know what to do.
Yeah.
So he was just like out of his element.
Yeah. In the new pilot, they were more deliberate about introducing the White Walkers. That was a great choice to like really show the weird, mysterious, supernatural thing. That really hooks people too. I remember, because that's like a whole other element that like starts to impact that world.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
I mean, that's like the one of those like main top level storylines that everyone is tuning in
Yeah.
to see how that's developing.
And the dragons too. The dragons. Everyone wants to see that.
That's all
the
we want to
dragon
see.
eggs they reveal, and then when obviously I think is that the end of the first season where they hatch?
Yeah, Daenerys is like, her husband dies, and then like she's like
Right.
consumed by fire, but she's like not
Yes.
harmed by the fire.
Right.
She's with ashes, and all the dragon babies are around her.
Yeah, her hair is burned off. Yeah. So sick.
Every time I see Game of Thrones discussions, somebody's like, "Gods, the writing was strong then."
Yeah.
Quoting Bobby B. I'm struggling here. Gods, I was strong then. It's such a shame Robert didn't survive longer.
Right. Yeah.
Fetch the breastplate stretcher.
It's so funny.
He's just torturing his squire so much.
Right.
I love it.
There were three things why I felt were corny in Game of Thrones: the dragons, romance in general, and White Walkers. You thought those were corny? I disagree.
I think there should have been more White Walkers. I don't think we get enough.
Yeah. It's much more. I thought it was so cool. I think they became kind of that's like meathead tier. Yeah, I understand from that perspective. I was gonna just say that like it became kind of cringy, like when the White Walkers were just in every episode and like
We're talking about seasons 1 through 4, pretty
Right,
much
yeah.
when we're talking.
where the White Walkers were mysteriously seen in the first episode, and some of the other scenes where they're really creepy and disturbing and interesting was like where Sam is north of the wall, and there's this huge snowstorm, and all these corpses start shuffling by,
Yes.
and then like the White Walker just walks by too on the dead horse. That shit is so sick and so cool. But once it starts getting to like showing them regularly,
Because it's
and stuff,
mysterious. That's why it's so awesome.
mysterious.
Imagine you're in the middle of nowhere, one of the most inhospitable regions, and you get the feeling that you're not alone. There's somebody there with you. It's creepy. It's like being alone in the woods.
And just the fact that, yeah, there's this like wasteland, but there's an army being raised there slowly, steadily over many years of just dead people, like just slowly amassing this huge army.
Yeah, and no one knows about it. How could they?
Right. And some people know, and they're trying to raise the alarm, and no one is paying attention because they're too busy fighting. That's one of the
Yes.
things that I appealed.
Yes, it's very
appealed to me
appealing.
the most. Yeah. I like the dragons too because it was like, you know, her source of power, and they were cool when they were young and stuff. Like,
It's a lineage thing. Like that's Daenerys' legacy as a Targaryen is these dragons. That's like her whole identity, and it's a lost power. You know, they haven't been a threat in so long, and you know
Right.
that very soon they're gonna be a threat again.
that's what I think is the coolest part of that. In this new show, House of the Dragon, like everyone loves the dragons, everyone wants to see the dragons. What I like about it is that not all of the dragons are the same. Like in one of these recent episodes, like just when you think you've seen all the dragon stuff that they can do, they're talking about like they need to find riders for, you know, more dragons to be on her side or whatever. And he refers to this one dragon and goes into the dragon pit and calls it, and the entire wall moves towards her. It's huge, massive. Like all the dragons in the show up to that point are kind of on the smaller side, and then you see this like really old dragon that's like massive. It's so fucking cool. It's so cool. They all like kind of look different. I don't know.
That's cool.
I know it's meathead tier. I can see that it does have kind of a mass appeal, but it's fucking cool. I like it. Everyone likes it. Maybe not everyone, but
Joe Rogan approval.
I
Come on.
blessedly don't know too much about Joe Rogan, other than I know he hosted Fear Factor, and now he's like a fucking idiot. Maybe he always. That was good cars.
Nope. Fucked up. Oh, whatever. I just want to get out of the intro.
Yeah.
I'm losing like 6 seconds here.
He's King of the Apes. George of the Jungle.
It's really insane how much of a time loss that is. Wow.
Is it that you got more health? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I got to pick up at the very end, so I had to take damage again, and that made the ship go off course, so then I had to watch the ship slowly lumber on to the right position. It scrolls like left to right if it's not in the right spot.
Right.
So ideally, the ship like barely moves and Vile's able to come out without you waiting.
Yeah. Waz says whenever Joe Rogan gets excited about or whatever
Everyone
he gets
else.
excited about makes him that's unlikable, I'm sure. Like I feel that way. Or I feel that.
A trend cycle. Yeah, he has a lot of meathead supporters.
That's why like I don't pay attention to that. I just kinda like things that I like myself, whether or not other people like it. It's actually maybe less so. I just try not to read too much about it because it'll ruin your own sort of opinions of things sometimes.
That's fair. Don't get caught up in the news cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Pal World. I'm not in on that trend cycle.
Oh my god, it really is an abortion.
He will not relent on that topic.
He was peeking the microphone, man. It felt like he was screaming in my ear.
Same. That fucking Pal World. So shit. Because I was curious. We aren't like the 5th graders in Atlanta suburbs. We have college degrees.
I actually do not.
I got a high school diploma. Oh, well, it's not for me. I was curious about Pal World because obviously it's a topic of like everyone's blathering about, and I was just like, all right, well,
Yeah.
let's see what it is. Like, I was turned off kind of initially because like the designs. Someone had said that they're AI created, and it is very obvious to me that like there's no heart and soul to these Pokemon, quote unquote Pokemon designs. They're just like, whether or not people like to admit it, a lot of the Pokemon designs are kind of cool and kind of clever or interesting or have become iconic. But the Pal World just takes like their elements, like eyes, ears, like horn shape, eye shape, and just sort of puts them in a blender and like
Exactly.
regurgitates them out. It's not like they're crafted with a concept in mind. Like, that is the first thing that I noticed. It's been called out, so maybe I didn't notice it. I could just co-sign that, yes, that's very obvious. They took like art and just with no soul. So that, like AI, just takes art and has no soul.
Slop. Yeah, it's basically slop.
It's slop. Yeah, it's AI generated. So then the other thing, like, I was like, okay, well, I want to like watch gameplay of it. I want to watch like a playthrough to understand like what this actually is. And I saw it, and it's like, I was also really struck by A Smooth Criminal. I was really struck by like, there is no art style. The art style
It's
is
non-existent.
it's all
There is
over
no
the place.
style. It's just like an amalgam of things.
And it doesn't go together, and that's another reason why it almost seems AI generated, because Pokemon, for better or worse, like, look, I don't like the direction it's went in. I think it is kind of devoid of, I think it's doing the same thing over and over and it doesn't work, but it has a style, and when you take away that style, like, you're putting cartoony, like distorted, like super distorted creatures in a realistic world with like Fortnite moving like characters. It's very incongruous.
Incongruous is a good word.
Yeah, it's like realistic environments, vaguely kind of anime-ish, or no, it's not vague, like not anime-ish, but like almost like Zelda NPCs, or like humanoid, more human-esque NPCs, they're kind of Fortnite looking, but realistic backgrounds and really super cartoony, deformed creatures. It's like there's 3 separate art styles battling it out together, and it looks horrible. And then you have guns in the game too, which is really strange. Like, you're shooting monsters, like shooting with them with a gun, and like having your monster, like, I'm like, what the fuck is this? And then there's like no discernible story that I could tell, or at least the person playing was doing nothing. It's like resource farming. You basically like collect all these fucking treasures on the ground and shit dropped all over. You like farm them from creatures, and then you have your creatures like build a house or something for you too. Like, it's kind of like StarCraft or whatever.
Mhm.
You put them like, they're like chipping away at a boulder outcropping to like farm resources and bring them back to your house, like StarCraft. That was the other major gameplay thing. It's very much copied from Pokemon Legends Arceus, like the capture mechanics and the battle mechanics. The fact that the creatures can attack you is part of that.
Why
It's
do you
just
think? Why do you
horrible.
think Nintendo waited so long to bring this case against them? Do you think they were just gathering evidence,
Probably, yeah. I think there were.
biding
I
their
think so.
time?
Yeah, I think so. Because they may have been also waiting for like the hype to die down a little bit, but I think they're probably mad that there's all these comparisons, and I think they probably have grounds enough to say that like it infringes on something that they did. Probably Pokemon Legends, because that gameplay is so similar, if not lifted.
They're waiting, and yeah, money damages to grow. That's a good
It all
point.
becomes a org of empty, oddly lacking meta, dead mall energy. Yeah, dead mall energy. Everyone knows they're waiting for legal crowns, and the money damages to grow. Yeah. I think they choose sometimes not to acknowledge. The fact is, too, almost forgot to mention, Nintendo did make a rare acknowledgement of Owl World. I forget, they said something about like that there's like another game out there that's they made some official statement, which is so rare for them to do, just addressing the comparisons and saying that, you know, they're pursuing like some sort of legal action or something like that. So they must have been really pissed that this thing just is ripping them off, because I really do think it's ripping them off. I don't know why Alan is so defensive over it. I think he's clouded by wanting something from Pokemon that he's not getting, which I get, but you have to call it what it is. It's fucking rip-off.
It doesn't feel normal to defend this company for no reason.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, I guess. There are clones for clout of almost everything. Pod clones, Genshin clones, you name it. Of course, there are. We're living in such like that era where some, you know, shitty developer can just crank out something so fast that's like, you know, a derivative. Especially with mobile games. I remember seeing that back in the day, like, you know, mobile games was just like a free-for-all. You know, there'd
Yeah.
be like copies of Mario and all this other shit just out there. Like low effort Angry Bird clones.
Cheap imitations.
Yeah. Yeah. I also, you know, it sucks because that's all there is in PS5 store. But I mean, yeah, I'm not surprised. Shovelware. A Switch too. Oh my god. All the eShops are just inundated with shovelware shit. That's just the nature of the beast. The app stores are too. It's in the darkness you must look to the light, which is good first-party titles from Nintendo and some third-party publishers.
In the jungle, you must wait until you roll a 5 or 8. I don't know why I
That's
came.
from Jumanji.
Yeah, I don't know why that came to my head.
I knew it. Oh fuck, that movie's so sad. It's scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
that
board game.
happened again, man.
She was waiting all those years. Yeah, the original Jumanji is really sick. Who would ever watch that new one? I don't know. But Dwayne The Rock Johnson in that, I have a feeling.
and his fellow box office poison star Kevin Hart.
Box office. Who? Okay, who can we cast if we want to create the most poisonous casting of all time?
All right, so The
Who-
Rock,
Yes, definitely.
Kevin Hart, Jack Black.
Jack Black too.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
now
fuck.
box office poison.
Jason Momoa. Would you say he's poison?
Yes.
Him and The Rock should have a sex scene. Then that's the only thing that could undo the poison. And create new poison of a different kind. Yes, watch it, Jason Momoa also. Minecraft. Fucking Marky Mark. Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, yes.
And what's that
Tom Cruise.
guy? Tom Cruise. What's the young Tom? Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy.
Zendaya.
No, they're part of blockbuster movies that actually make money.
I know.
Oh,
yeah, they're not
unfortunately, Henry Cavill.
poison.
I'm sorry,
Henry.
He's struggling getting into like a decent film these days.
That's true, but he's so handsome.
I know.
And he seems so nice. It's not his fault. The other people.
Wonder Woman. What's her name?
Gal Gadot.
She is poison.
Gal Gadot.
She
Gal
is,
Gadot
man.
cast her in your movie.
Her movies are always a giant flop.
What about the Twilight dude being everywhere now? Robert Pattinson? The count.
Sorry, one second.
Yeah, I'll do. Watch as Gal Gadot is formed of plaster. It's so fun. I'd say Amelia Clark. Amelia Clark
Yes.
is poison too.
Yes, you're right about that.
She's a charisma vacuum. Dead behind the eye.
If your movie has like Kevin Hart, Gal Gadot, and all these people, like you're fucked. It's not gonna make any money. Why do they even sign on to do this bullshit movies?
Johnny Depp. Shia
Oh, no.
LaBeouf. I'm looking at a list of box office poison. Katherine Heigl. Yeah, she is poison. Ryan Reynolds. Oh man. Jessica Biel. These are horrible choices. Perfect. Yeah. James Corden.
I hate Jessica Biel. Why do you hate Jessica Biel?
She is so flat. She's two-dimensional in a three-dimensional world. Oh my god.
In a material world.
Nicolas Cage. That bitch from Star Wars, Daisy Ridley. She also probably seems like a nice person, but... Jared Leto.
Yes.
There's Kevin Hart
yes.
on the list.
It's the voice and freaking face she makes. It's the same. Oh my god.
Will Smith.
Yes.
Oh,
Jaden Smith.
Now you're really cooking.
Now
with
we're
fire.
cooking. Yeah.
Now we're cooking. A lot of these are the same that we had thought of. Mark Wahlberg, Tom Cruise, Jason Momoa, Timothy Chalamet, Seth Rogen. Oh, Vin Diesel. Okay, we need Vin Diesel, Jason Momoa, and like vaguely ethnic looking muscle heads. Oh,
He's
fuck.
basically The Rock at this point.
Oh, this one's not on the list, but Kristen Stewart. Just recast Twilight with the same actors. Oh fuck. I'd say so. I'd say so. This is the most poisonous cast of all time. Maybe they should play They should play out the first few episodes of Game of Thrones as all of these actors. You wouldn't even need to change anything. So Jason Momoa could just redo his line. It's Carl Drogo.
Carl Drogo.
Carl Drogo. So yeah, we would cast Jessica Biel as Catelyn. She's probably in that age range. Which maybe she could be Sansa. And Kristen Stewart as Arya. Oh god. Gal Gadot. She could play maybe she could play Catelyn. Dwayne The Rock Johnson as Jon Snow.
There's nothing more important than family.
Oh fuck.
If there was a movie with all of them in it, it would make trillions. I don't know, man.
It would cost the world trillions.
It would cost us. It would cost the economy trillions.
Somehow it would fucking
A giant
create
shitpost.
It would
Somebody
create a
should make
huge
the biggest
recession.
like turd movie like ever made. Like just something like so horrible it can
The Room.
break records. Like The Room, but with Hollywood actors.
Yeah. Like I think they should just do Game of Thrones with those people. Mark Wahlberg could be Ned. Oh god. Can you imagine him being the lead? Fuck. No one would have British accents.
Do you want them to try and do British accents badly?
Yeah. That's the only thing that we have to do that, right? We have to. Do your best. Jessica Biel doing her best British accent. What can go wrong? What can go wrong? Oh yeah, modern day adaptations of Romeo and Juliet. Can they just stop with that formula? It's so tired. With DiCaprio. Ugh. He's kind of cringy, but at least he can act. I like some of his movies. Henry Cavill's too good for Game of Thrones shit posts. Henry Cavill is British too. He could actually Henry, I forgive you. It's the movies that are the problem, not you.
That's right. They should do Romeo and Juliet with Leonardo DiCaprio, except he falls in love with the 17-year-old girl, but he's still like 55.
So basically real life.
It's what he's best at.
So
The
basically we're
man,
just
the man
taking
is
what's
already a
current.
master of his craft.
Yeah, method acting. He's been studying that role all this time. Actually, it's a deep study. Deep method.
He's
It's
going
so
in deep.
method. It's the deepest method. Oh my
Deep
god.
in the deepest carriage on his yacht.
My friend saw Jason Momoa in Massachusetts. I think I told you guys this, but he was at a liquor store. Like, he has a line of vodka. Of course. This whole shitpost movie, everyone has a line of alcohol that
Yes.
they're shilling.
Yes.
At every red carpet, they're just shilling their own fucking products. Oh, fuck. But yeah, Jason Momoa's vodka. He looked like Johnny Depp. He looked like this is a deep cut reference, but there was a show on VH1 in the early 2000s, kind of the Of Love era of shows, called Tool Academy, and it was about these douchey guys like learning how to pick up women like from a supposed expert. The guy who was the expert looked like a dirty magician. He wore one of those oversized like fuzzy hats, and it was all about like oh, you can't show a woman that you like respect them. You have to like neg them, like do this and that. Like all these.
I
tactics.
miss this pickup artist era that we had.
Oh my god, Juan knows. He said Tool Academy, what the fuck? That was so cursed. TQ stuff. Yeah. So Jason Momoa now looks like a cast member on that, who's like you have to dress edgy. Just with like a lot of chains and like a real like a top hat and like long scraggly hair. It's Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp and Jason Momoa are becoming one. You know, like a binary star eventually will like turn into like one.
It's a
Black
natural. It's a natural occurrence in
The
nature.
phenomenon. Wow, says yes, I swear to God. Yeah. Sigma. More like Ligma.
Sigma.
Ligma. Why isn't Ligma a letter in the Greek alphabet?
What letter is that? Ligma. Sigma Rizzler.
Ew. They are. It's. I think Tool Academy spawned. What's that guy who was arrested in Romania for sex trafficking?
Andrew
young
Tate.
girls? Thank you. Yes, Andrew Tater Tots vodka. No, tater tot flavored vodka. With roofie. Oh, it's roofie flavored vodka. My bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, Andrew Tate has a roofie flavored vodka that he's been shopping. That is what these douchebags spawn. That's what social media has allowed. Oh dear. Well, I think we're really getting to the core of some of society's issues nowadays. Nice. All he ever did was appear on. Andrew Tate was on The Bachelorette? No. What?
Jeez, he was? I didn't know that.
I'm surprised and not surprised at the same time. Did he appear as himself or as a contestant? That's how he got famous? What? That... They created a monster. Contestant. Wow. I thought he was just some like YouTube douche that like other
Same.
pathetic people, other pathetic incels gravitated towards, but turns out he's just a fame whore, which that tracks. Wow. Huh. He did that after using it as a springboard. Yeah. Of course. Those shows are cursed.
Seriously cursed.
Well, he can have a cameo in this movie. Also, we should give a cameo to Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt. And the Kardashians. Oh, and Jennifer Lopez. How could we have forgotten J-Lo?
Yeah, J-Lo.
Box office fucking succinylcholine. She's box office hemlock. That's why you see all these washed up actors who can't get work starting podcasts. It's the last rug you hit on the way to hell. I think the last rug on the way to hell is Andrew Tate's hairpiece. That fucking balding bitch. He's very Ligma. Russell Brand. Oh, fuck.
I forgot he existed.
I hoped to forget he existed. He was like doing political commentary, and everyone was like ligmaing his balls for a while because they're like, he's outspoken, he's right, he's liberal, and then all of a sudden, didn't he do some shit? He did some underage shit too.
Would you be
a
surprised if he did?
He's a flat earther now. Oh shit. I love that.
Dude.
I think all the flat earth people, we should fund putting them in a rocket ship together.
Together.
so that we can prove to them that the Earth is round after they like go up into outer space. But the thing is, we won't tell them that it's a one-way trip to the sun.
I like this plan.
We just aim it up there. They learn the error of their ways before
Impact.
gasping in terror. Oh shit. Well, Russell Brand was always a pain in the ass. He has like the high-pitched voice, like British voice. It's like the most annoying voice type. We could get Katy Perry to do the soundtrack of this movie. Oh dear God. I am diabolical for sure. Katy Perry, soundtrack by Katy Perry. Ew. Ew, ew. Diabolical. Calendar. Wow. I have one meeting on my calendar tomorrow.
Sick.
Wow. I love that. Ah. That's just sad.
Let's see if I could finish one run tonight. I'm scared of this spider, bro. The spider is so hard.
I know. I have faith. Everything will be okay.
Thanks, bro.
Good spider pattern. Good patterns, that's good.
Let's go. Time to pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh, it's alright. It's alright.
Good pattern.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Nice, nice.
I hate this fucking thing.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Is this game Sigma?
It's Ligma. Spoida.
I died. I'm just gonna keep going because
Yeah,
I have to.
you're so close on that platform. It's just the beginning anyway.
I died again. I almost like don't know how to play this game. This is my first time playing it.
Let's play. That's fine. You have a minute buffer.
I'm going to bed.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I can't play.
That's okay.
All right, see you later.
Yeah, it's good to chat. Good
Yep.
night to Wah as well.
Yep. Thanks for hanging.
Later.
Later.
All right, good night.